Welcome everybody to our latest session of the Restoration of Cariele. This is actually session 60, believe it or not. As usual, we'll do a quick recap of what occurred last session, and then we'll get started. So team, you'll likely recall when we picked up last week, you guys were in the realm of Thosone attending a diplomatic event. It was a wedding between two locals in Thosone that you guys were attending to try to increase your relationship with that region and try to, forge a path in the future of peace and assistance and so forth. However, while there, you guys got into some shenanigans, namely, you guys got into this whole magic map situation through Lord Derek, and then you went through that whole situation. You also noticed, a couple of you did, that the bride was actually dressed up as a servant and seemingly was in a runaway bride situation. As all this was occurring, you guys, particularly Blixel and Celine, felt sort of a significant overpower, you could say, this arcane power, as realm magic was actually being cast in the land of Cariele, and this was very impactful. So spellcasters who were attuned to the land, as you guys are as counselors, would be able to feel this, and you were able to see through this power a brief glimpse of what was occurring. So back in the realm of Cariele in the province of Riverford, a woman walked into the province. You could think of this sort of as crossing the province line, and then conjured up some very potent magic, thrust her hands into the ground, and you started noticing skeletons and zombies breaking forth from the ground. While there, they started all pulling together, creating what you would later know as a undead legion. So as you guys discussed with Lord Derek, trying to get some tips, he explained that undead legions are very potent fighting forces on the battlefield. They have, they're very defensive. They can withstand very strong charges, even from fully armed and armored units of knights. He suggested using magic against them would be your best bet. You guys then asked that, is there any way he could get you back to your province quickly? Otherwise, it was going to take you multiple days to travel overland. He said he did know of a way, and long story short, he was able to use some magic to power a teleportation area, which took you guys into the shadow world on a limited basis to allow you to cross over this sort of tunnel between the prime material plane into the shadow world, and then you guys were able to move more quickly in the shadow world. It was a very strange experience to you. You noticed everything was sort of dim, standing on these alabaster stone blocks. You would walk a bit and then look backwards and realize you had traveled much farther than you had ever expected. Found yourself in this dark and twisted forest. Eventually found this light hanging in the sky, kind of looked like a moon, which Lord Derek had explained that is what you're looking for as the exit. You guys went to that light, and eventually, after you sort of entered the light, found yourself back in the prime material world in a dark basement, or cellar as it were, and this cellar was just covered with junk everywhere. There was really nowhere you could even move without bumping into something. You guys did your best and were making some noise down there before a trapdoor opened, and a gentleman shouted down. You guys determined that you were ultimately in a house somewhere in Carolinian or on the outskirts of Carolinian, and eventually, after some conversation with that gentleman, you made your way out of the home and made your way back to the castle. Once there, you spoke with the Countess. You filled her in on some of the, what had occurred. You had already used a sending spell to alert her to the creation of the Undead Legion. She, of course, was already aware because of her connection to the land as well. However, you guys had discussed and made some war plans and decided to engage her unit of mercenary cavalry. So she called those into action quickly, using funds from the treasury to get them up and running. And then you guys rested overnight before marching out from the castle with 3 units, unit of archers, unit of infantry, and this newly mustered unit of mercenary cavalry, and made your way to track down this undead legion. It ended up taking you 3 days to track them down. Once you did, you guys took the battle to them. So what occurred here is, as you guys found yourself on the battlefield and your units were jockeying for position, Celine was in control of the unit of infantry and was sort of in the middle position on the battlefield, moving forward. Surprisingly, the Undead Legion moved faster than expected that it could, as though its commander was able to whip the undead soldiers into moving faster, and was on top of your unit much faster than you anticipated. And this prevented you from safely using a fireball spell, which would injure yourself and them. and you also found yourself in the thick of a personal combat in the middle of this war. So that's where we left off. You guys are in the middle of the war. There's already been a couple of rounds of combat, and you guys are essentially in the thick of it. So that is the quick recap. Is there anything I missed that anybody would like to add?
Yeah, and the HBIC was in the middle of a monster, and she was actually on the battlefield with us and casting spells and stuff like that. And I think we were able to slow the advancement of the monster, and she might be out of the chest cavity of that monster, I think.
Yes, go ahead and take inspiration for that, Gordon. In fact, Chelina, who was in the ribcage of a hill giant skeleton, was indeed forced to flee upon a spell from Blixel. And so she essentially climbed down, is in the same space as that giant, but is no longer within the ribcage. Anybody else have something to add?
Yeah, Adam, my apologies if you said something like this, but I just want to make sure the wording's correct and everything. Isn't there like a time limit that we have to get
There is
down or something like that within like 3 turns or 3 rounds or something like that? I can't remember all the details. My apologies.
That's okay. Yeah, I was going to go over that. But yeah, I guess that's good enough. Go ahead and take inspiration there, Tabard. So yes, the drop dead is 2 more rounds of personal combat before we move back to the war board. So I'm going to go ahead and dish out a card to everybody, and I'll move over to the war board or to the battlefield so I can explain that. But then if anybody else has something they want to also add for inspiration, you'll still have that opportunity. But yeah, let me go ahead and get you guys back over there. Okay, so here on the war board, or the battlefield, I should say, you're going to notice that I've added a red line that goes across the middle of the field. This represents the battlefield, the northern half of the battlefield and the southern half. As we discussed last time, you guys have 2 more rounds of personal combat. So we're at the top of the initiative right now. We'll go through 1 full round and then another full round. If you are north of this red line at the end of the second round, then you are going to be lost to the enemy forces. So essentially what that means is Chelina will have the option of either capturing you or killing you outright, and you won't have any way of resisting this. So you don't want to end up higher than this red line. All right, anybody else have anything for inspiration that they'd like to mention?
No, but I will just say that we're all a bunch of babies anyway, so we'll be glad to stay underneath the red line. Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't catch everything that you said about the location of the transport circle in Cariele, but it was in the poorer part of town in a hoarder's basement that was owned by some halflings.
Yes. Indeed, that adds extra details that I omitted from mine. So yeah, feel free to take inspiration as well, Serena.
I thought that might be useful to have some inspiration.
That's why I'm being very generous and giving it to you, because it very well could be. All right, so with that mentioned, I'll go ahead and give everybody a card. Feel free to take a moment looking at your card and make sure that there are no questions with these cards in particular. Also want to throw out there that, of course, Serena, since Serena herself is still in Thozone, and it wouldn't be realistic to have Serena just suddenly appear on the battlefield, but we don't want you to just be sitting there, of course. So what I'm going to do is I've added a token here to the battlefield. And this is representing an individual that I've named Lieutenant Devlin. So think of this as one of the more senior soldiers within the infantry unit. I'm going to give you control of Lieutenant Devlin, so you'll have somebody to work on the battlefield while we go through these 2 rounds of combat. And then, of course, once this immediate war is ended, Serena will be able to arrive before too long, I'll say, but it just wouldn't make sense to be immediately. All right, so you should notice then, Serena, that there is a character sheet for Lieutenant Devlin, and I'll actually put it in the PCs area to just make this easier for you to find. All right, so you should now notice under the companions folder, under the PCs folder, I went ahead and put Lieutenant Devlin in there. You should have access to his character sheet. Let me know if you have any issues opening that. and you should be able to read all of his details. He, of course, is an NPC, so kind of a basic character sheet, but hopefully that will make sense.
I do, but I don't appear to have visibility on the battlefield.
Let's see. He should have vision turned on, which he does. You're saying right now the screen's just black for you?
Yeah.
I think you gave
so
his vision to me because I can see pretty much the whole screen. And I
Oh,
don't think I
maybe-
should be able to.
Maybe I clicked the wrong person. Let me just double check that real quick. Oh, yeah. I put it in Serena's journal, but Saline, edit, and control for some reason. Let me fix that real quick. Okay, that should be resolved. Thanks for that.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So we are at the top of round 2. Let me go ahead and put the other music on, and then I'm going to do a quick reminder about some of these items just to make sure we're all on the up and up with where we're at.
Hey, Adam, I got a question that you may or may not remember because I don't think I do.
That sounds like an easy one to answer. Sure, let's hear it.
Yeah, well, I have a I don't remember what the token on my
You are
maybe I'm
prone.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, you had put the other one on you, and then I realized that you didn't use the standard one, so I just removed that and put the standard one on there for you.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
And I think Blixel has his hero stone going right now.
He does, yep. All right, so we are at the
I
top
need
of the...
to.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Libby.
Do I need to roll for initiative?
You will, yep. Go ahead and select your token and go ahead and roll initiative. And on the NPC sheets, this works a little bit different. But when you open the sheet, as long as you have the token selected, you will see an init icon. It's like a little die with the word INIT under it. It's like a little bit to the right of where the armor class and hit points are. If you just click that button, it will roll initiative for him.
And I might as well use a card right away, if possible.
Yeah, if it doesn't say that you have to do it when it's your turn or anything, you can do it right away.
Yeah, it says anytime.
All right, you spent the Guided Strikes card. So at any time you and your group score a critical hit when you roll a 19 or 20 in the attack roll for the next minute. Okay, nice card. So
Nice.
keep that up there. Keep your eyes focused. If you guys roll a 19 or a 20, that will be considered a critical.
Pay attention, Bill. You're going to need that one.
Yeah, I may.
All right, Libby, any issues rolling initiative? Were you able to find that icon on the character sheet?
I don't see it on the character sheet. I'm only seeing bio and info, but
You don't see a character sheet tab?
no.
You certainly should be. So you see bio and info, and there's one called attributes and abilities, and there's one called character sheet. You're saying you don't see the character sheet tab?
Hold on, I'm reopening it to make sure. Oh, now it appears. Okay. Well, I had just added the roll initiative button on the map, so I was just about to use that, but now I can do it here.
Okay, yep. So just make sure you have the token selected, and like I said, you'll see that INIT on the character sheet. Perfect. All right, so that's going to put you in at 10. And let's make sure that did. I'm just going to go ahead and sort the initiative. Okay, and then we are at the top of the initiative round, so we'll get started there. So quick reminder, again, 2 full rounds of combat and personal combat left. If you are dropped to the ground, not conscious, or if you're north of that red line, unless there's some other reason why you'd be able to get out of there, which, you know, probably not. But I'll listen to arguments if you've got a really good one. And then also these red swords that are moving around, if you get caught in that area, it means you're mixed up in a personal battle with the soldiers that are not otherwise represented on the map here, and that you're essentially going to lose a turn. And you, if you want to try to do something to get out, there will be a skill check that you can try to do. It's going to take your turn to do that anyhow, but you might be able to get out without suffering too bad of issues, but you might suffer some damage in that process. I think that's everything quickly recapped for everyone's knowledge. And if not, feel free to ask any questions. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we are at the top of the round. So the big giant skeleton is going to move. And it's going to go ahead and make its way over towards Tavern. So it lumbers through the battlefield, stomping. It's going to get to here. And then it's going to go ahead and throw a rock at Tavern. Tavern, go ahead and throw me a defensive roll. This will be straight up. All right.
Wouldn't it have disadvantage because of the fact that I'm prone?
Yes, that is true. Yep. So that would make it a 16. But unfortunately, that's still going to hit you.
Yeah, but it sounds better. It missed me by 2 more. I mean, it hit me by 2 less.
That is true, yes. All right, so here comes this big boulder as it grabs into this chunk of rock on the battlefield, throws it through the air, smashes down into your space for 19 points of bludgeoning damage. Of course, you're a dwarf, so you can half that. All right, that is that guy's turn. Okay, next up is Chelina on the battlefield here. And she's a little bit hurt, but she's also looking to take her frustrations out on the person that made her just lose her armored cavalry here. So she's going to saunter through the battlefield, pushing through various skeletons and zombies as she gets to here. And when she does, she is going to look down towards you, Blixel, and she's going to unleash her arcane burst. So this necrotic energy flashes out towards you as 3 purple blue balls of explosive power. I'm gonna need 3 defensive rolls, Blixel.
Okay. Can I use the hero stone for this?
As long as you haven't used it since your last round, which I'm trying to.
Yeah, I can't remember if I did or not, honestly. I used it once, so I don't know if it was the last round or not.
Yeah, so I'll let you go ahead and use it. She'd make it 3 attacks against you anyway, so go ahead and use it on the first one. That will burn your reaction.
Okay.
All right, so that will give you a 19. And that will be enough to evade the first strike of hers, and I'll need 2 more. Okay, 26 will be good. And 20 will be good. Yeah, so as these 3 blasts of necrotic energy fly your way, you're able to duck and drop and evade them as the fellow troops in your legion here are doing the best they can. Maybe some of them even get hit by this, but obviously mechanically no real impact. All right, we move to Tavern.
Totally scream out after that, I'm an elven hero!
All right, and only anybody within 5 feet would be able to hear you, of course, as we said before, because it's just the chaos of war at the moment. Okay, Tavern, so you're currently in a fracas. What would you like to do?
Well, first I'd like to stand up.
Okay, so you can spend half your movement standing up, but remember, you're in the fracas, so essentially your turn is going to be eaten up just trying to get out of the fracas, ultimately. So tell me what you're going to do to try to get out of the fracas.
I would like to go ahead and dodge my way out of this using my action, but also as a bonus action use a key point to go ahead and do Step of the Wind to really give me that extra boost.
Okay, so I'm going to say that's going to allow you to make an acrobatics check at advantage since you're using a key point to see if you can get out of here. The DC on this is going to be 20, so you're going to have to make a check. You have advantage. You got to get a 20 or higher to get out.
All right, let me go ahead and spend that key point there. And I'm not using patient defense because I'm using mine, so just...
Right.
Yeah, I almost pushed that, right, you know. All right, well, here we go, guys.
You got this.
Luck. Big money, big money, big money.
No, it's acrobatics. It's not athletics.
Got to re-roll. Yeah. Can't take that one.
No, unfortunately, you can't re-roll, but I would take your higher modifier. But again, you rolled a 3 and a 6. And I'm guessing you
Well,
don't
wait a
add
second.
14. All
What
right,
are we
you're
talking
burned.
about? I didn't roll a 3 or a 6. I rolled like a something else.
You burn inspiration. All right, so we'll take that 18.
Heck
And
yeah.
what do you add to your acrobatics?
Plus, acrobatics is plus 5.
All right, 23. So that will successfully allow you to get out of the fracas. So I will let you move up to 3 spaces out of the fracas in any direction that you like. So ultimately, you end away from the red fracas up to 3 spaces away in whichever direction.
I'm actually going to go here, even though I know that's closer to the issues, but that's what I'm going to do. And
Okay.
also, Adam, if you see my green go up, it's because I get plus, my proficiency bonus if I took damage before my last turn. So
Okay. All right, so that will essentially be your turn escaping the fracas. And then, yeah, we'll move to Saileen's turn.
All right, we're gonna peek out from behind this rock. We're not gonna see jack shit. We're gonna do it again. I really gotta save one fireball for the re-engagement, but I do have 2, and this looks like a great opportunity to use 1. So, when every situation looks like a nail, I've got a hammer. Let's drop it on her.
nice.
Yeah.
And I must upcast because I am out of 3rd level spell slots. We are not going to be able to get both her and that guy. Let's see if there's any better spot for this. That might be ideal. Minimize the... Get rid of all the little guys at least. We're gonna send it there.
All right, feel free to trigger all when you're ready.
Yep. I'm just reading my card to make sure this doesn't help me. It does not, so we will...
All right, we got some passes, some failures, 25 points of fire damage. Several of the skeletal warriors are dropped.
Hey, they still do damage if they hit,
Yep, so now that has been removed from the equation, and I have 20 feet of movement left, so I'm gonna start huffing it. So 5, 10, 15, 20 to here. And wouldn't you know it, just ran out of movement before I could go off map. What a shame.
Ah, darn.
And no cantrip bonus action, so we're good.
Okay, and then we'll start from the left here. So Tabard, as a reminder, we've got a new macro. So if you have your token selected near the top, you'll see perfect. All right, 2 spaces to the south. Okay, Saleen, you kill this one. D20, please. Almost. All right, Lieutenant Devlin, you've been in this war fighting, doing the best you can. It is your turn.
Fireball.
Am I able to see Blixel?
You can see whatever you can see on the screen.
I shout, "Oh no, the copper counselor is under attack!" And I'm gonna move. It's still 5 feet a square, right?
Yes.
And I'm gonna get up here. Actually, well, I guess I already kind of let go. All right, I'm going to start swinging at this large creature in front of me.
All right, as you rush through the battlefield here, Lieutenant, and you find yourself standing next to a skeletal ogre that is leaning down, trying to smash Blixel into bits. Go ahead and make your attacks. All right, 13's going to hit.
Do I hit attack for the damage or?
Yep, if you click attack there in the chat, yep, there you go.
Use a high-level smite.
First attack hits and wounds the skeletal ogre.
This guy is pretty basic, folks.
I'm just having fun.
Very mid.
An 8 is going to miss. And an 8 is going to miss.
Classic. And I'm going to look over at Blixel and see if he's gonna make it through because he looks rough.
He does
I'm
indeed
real
look
hurt.
rough.
Cool. We'll see what I can do about that.
Okay, Gordon.
All right, I'm gonna move 5 here to get a better view. All right, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm 30 feet. I see Blixel. Okay, yeah, it's time for this. This would be fun. I'm gonna move. There's 10 feet of movement. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right, cool. New spell. I'm gonna use it. I move 10 feet, and I'm gonna cast a spell here. I still have movement left, but I'm gonna pop Aura of Protection or Destruction, and I'm gonna do Protection. So I'll post it. I'm gonna upcast it before it'll last this round and next round. And I'm choosing Celestial.
All right, as you cast this spell, nothing happens.
That's fun.
Want to take a wild guess why?
I'm probably forgot why, but
Yeah, this
I don't
spell
know
is
why.
actually on our banned list, and you asked me about it, and I said, no, you
Cool.
can't use that.
Oh, why is it on my sheet?
I don't know, because I remember telling you that, and I saw you never took it off, and I thought, oh, he'll take it off eventually.
Oh, okay. All right, then I will. 10. Guess I'll just move back then. Use.
So you tried to use ancient banned magic, and it just blasts. Yeah, it just doesn't do nothing for you.
Okay.
Make him roll a fumble. Make him roll a fumble.
No, I think that's
And I'm gonna-
overly punitive, but he lost a turn and a slot. That's good enough, right?
Yeah, that is fair enough. Then I will end my turn.
All right, the hill giant skeleton is going to step down to here, and with its great club, it's going to smash down on you twice there, Tavern. 2 defensive rolls, please. All right, let me do a quick double check. Yes, you do manage to evade both of those. All right, we'll move to Gordon. Gordon, go ahead and click your macro to see how this one moves. All right, 2 spaces to the west. All right, we'll get to there, and then Blixel.
Okay. Blixel. Is flanking a thing?
Flanking is a thing, yes. It gives you a +2.
Alright, Blixel will shimmy around here.
You'll want to move 1 space
Eh.
south to get a flank if that's what you're after.
Okay. Three spots to get there, and then he is going to start attacking this thing with his sword.
A 13 will hit.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot to say I was going to smite on it, so I'll say that for the next one. But
You pierce into the creature, wounding it a bit.
Okay, second attack. I'm gonna smite, third level smite.
Okay. Yes, 20 will hit.
Okay, and I'll also make this, let's say a defensive flourish.
Okay.
So it's gonna do 8 more points of damage, and I have 8 added to my AC.
Nice.
So it's this, and then third level crit, and then 8. And I'm assuming they're undead.
Yes, indeed.
So that's what, 5d8?
5d8. Okay,
22 rate.
yes. All right, so you pierce forward, doing a total of 37 points of damage, devastating this skeletal ogre. It is badly wounded, but still standing.
Okay.
No vulnerability to radiant or anything.
It unfortunately does not have that, no.
Edge.
I gotta check something real quick. Sorry. I think I'm looking for the range of Vicious Mockery. $60? Okay, sorry, I clicked that twice. I'm gonna Vicious Mockery Chelina with my bonus action from the Mocking Blade.
Unfortunately, you can't do that. If you look at Mockingblade, it says you can immediately use the weapon to cast Vicious Mockery cantrip as a bonus action against that same creature. So you would have to target the skeleton.
Okay. I mean, in that case, I will do the skeleton.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and throw that. Throw a spell effect roll. You've already got the damage there posted. Yeah, that would be a critical, but I will tell you, it only has 5 HP left, so it is going to drop regardless. If you'd like to roll a second critical just for fun, feel free.
Don't get those that often, you know?
May as well see.
Okay, so it doesn't know who's friend or who is foe until the end of its turn. That will only matter if you roll terrible when its turn comes up. Hey, look at that. Its turn is next right after yours, so we'll know real quick.
Okay. And with it being dead, I went 1, 2, 3. I will... You know what? I'll move back 1. Or actually, I'll move over 1 so I don't get engulfed by this stuff. And that's the end of my...
All right, Blixel, roll me a d20. Look at that. All right, so it does stand back up. All right, so it stands back up. It can't differentiate foe or friend. So what I would say is it's going to attack the nearest target, which is one of the two of you. So I'm just going to roll a d2. 1 will be Lieutenant Devlin. 2 will be Blixel.
That's the second one I've done that did that.
All right, it is attacking the Lieutenant. So Lieutenant... On your click your token, and then you should see at the top it says NPC defensive roll. That's the one you're going to want to use. And this creature is going to attack you just the one time, so 1 defensive roll, please.
I'd like to play my card
Sure.
at some point here. I don't know what's the appropriate time to do it.
This will be funny, but yes, okay, you can play that.
Oh.
All right, so immediately after an enemy it makes a melee attack against you or select another creature within range, it becomes a target of the attack. So because you're in the midst of all this battle right now, and again, theater of the mind, there's troops all around you, I will certainly say you can make him attack like a random skeleton that's going around if that was your goal.
Love that. Let's do that.
All right, so instead of walloping Blixel, yeah, basically you see the ogre skeleton turn and just kind of smashes into another skeleton that is there, flattening it into the ground.
I mean, I do have a 25 AC right now, so I could maybe.
You just rolled a 1, though, so I don't think you want to test it.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Don't tempt fate.
All right, that one is down. So, Saline, macro, please.
Macro.
All right, and then Serena or Libby, macro, please. So, with your token selected at the top, you should see a button that says Fracas Movement. Go ahead and click that. 1 space to the north. Okay.
Nice.
So
All
I
right,
assume the bad guys also lose a turn and get stuck
They
in
do.
these fracas. So.
They do indeed, yes. Skeleton Warrior, Saline, you drop this one, D20. Okay, he's gone. All right, this one's turn. He's also, let's see, he's just slightly in that fracas. I'm going to say he will spend his turn getting out of the fracas, but because he's just barely in there and he's huge, I'm not going to have him do any skill checks. I'm just going to have him essentially back up there. All right, let's see, actually we're at Noah or Blixel. Blixel, macro there, please. All right, Saline, D20. All right, now we're back to the beginning. Tabard, macro. All right, that's going to put you back in the fracas there, Tabard, just a little bit. So
Yeah,
I'll take that into consideration for, skills to get out of there. All right, this guy's turn. He's going to step down, and he's going to attack you on the flank, Blixel.
All right. I'm going to use the gem, or the hero stone, to give him disadvantage on this first one.
All right, so yeah, use your reaction then, and he will have disadvantage on the attack. So I'll give you advantage on... Okay, so that's 29, I think you said. So yeah, that'll certainly be a miss. Okay, so that was 1 round of personal combat. This is the last round of personal combat before we move back to the war board. Again, quick reminder, if you are unconscious or if you're below or above this line, you are not going to be in good shape. All right, this one's turn. Let's see. He's going to move. He's going to come down to here. He is going to grab a big chunk of rock as he does so, and he's going to throw that at you, Blixel. Defensive roll. All right, and that defensive bonus applies until the start of your next turn, right?
Yep.
All right, so you managed to evade that as well. All right, Chelina's turn. All right, you're going to notice that she is going to use some magic, and you are not going to see her any longer. Tabard, you are currently in the fracas.
Yes, but I am not prone, so that's helpful to some extent, I am going to go ahead and use my action to dash.
Okay, so I will say this is going to be a straight up acrobatics check then, and that again is DC. You're only slightly in the fracas, so I'm going to say it's DC 15.
All right, and I'll be able to use a hero point on that if need be, right?
Yep, you will be able to.
I just don't know what's coming next. I don't want to use up all my ki. That's what's going on, so. All right, let's see what happens.
Okay, so that will be a failure.
All right, I'm going to use my hero point. I'm going to roll a 15 on this hero point here.
15, that's exactly what you needed. All right, so you barely escaped the fracas. I would say you can move up to 2 squares out of the fracas at this point. Is that where you'd like to be?
I'm afraid I'm going to be in this here again. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just stay there. Right
All
there.
right.
That's my 2.
Sounds
Hopefully,
good.
hopefully these swords go in a different direction, right?
Okay, Saline.
Okay. This is the last turn, right?
This is the last
Yeah.
round of personal combat. Yes.
1, 2. Come on. 2. All right. So Blixel's still kind of in the thick of things. So we're gonna give him the best chance, I think. No, we can't because I'm not in range, and I don't have the ability to get in range. I don't think. Let me just confirm that. Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna try to cover his retreat then. Hang on. Protective ward also. Oh, it's one of those custom spells. I'm gonna post this just so I can see the range, but I'm not actually gonna cast it yet.
Okay.
$30 feet? Yeah, okay. So I cannot get there. So instead, what we're going to do is I will firebolt this guy with my action.
Okay.
And we're going to find that on the sheet. We're going to click that.
That's going to
I
miss.
would like to use a hero point on that.
Okay, feel free. That is still
Fuck.
going to miss.
That's fine. And then for my bonus action, I guess I'm putting Sanctuary on myself because I am the only one I can reach who isn't Gordon, and my fireball might be very important when we re-engage, so I don't want to die.
Okay, fair
So,
enough.
I won't post it because I already spent the slot doing the thing, and that's just easier.
That
and then
works.
we're going to, go back to my original position. Oh, wait.
Okay, I think we are on Gordon for the macro.
Yeah, yep.
All right, moves 1 space west. Lieutenant Devlin.
Before Lieutenant Devlin has a turn, I'd like to play my card.
All right, feel free. Okay, Precision Boon. When you or an ally attacks a creature, the attack is made at advantage. All right, so next attack would be at advantage there, Lieutenant.
And use Smite.
I don't have Smite. Why do you keep saying that?
Because
He's
it made
hoping
you
if he
laugh.
keeps saying it, then suddenly you'll find more abilities on the sheet.
That's right. That's right.
Lieutenant Devlin is
Use the Vorpal Sword of Instant Slay.
going to run up to the Copper Counselor and be like, "Stop running away from me! I can help protect you." And
I was right
then
next to you last time.
I will attack first. This one's still standing, right? So
It is, yeah.
So we should probably take that guy out. So
17 will hit, and that's going to be enough to drop him once again.
huzzah. And then I guess I'll. And I shoot, I wasn't keeping track of my movement. 5, 10,
I believe it was
maybe?
10, yep.
15, 20.
All right, as you do that, stepping away from the one to your north,
Ah!
he's going to make an opportunity attack against you, Lieutenant. NPC defense roll there, please.
My first time playing D&D, guys. NPC.
Yep, so just make sure, yep, there you go, 19. Yes, you managed to evade the strike as the Great Club comes down. You're able to block that with your shield.
Okay, now I will use my last 2 attacks on him.
Feel free. 23 will hit. Wounding the ogre skeleton. 25 will hit. Wounding him again.
And then I'm going to put a hand on Blixel, so hopefully he doesn't get away from me again.
Bad
not
news for
grappling.
you.
Okay, Gordon.
Okay, 5. Holy crap. You know, I don't. We're talking about sanctuary, and I can get to him, but how's he gonna know, right? We can't communicate in this battle. That's what sucks.
I feel like you feel a protective effect around you.
It doesn't matter even if you're standing right next to him telling him.
All right.
Or heal. Heals are always good.
Yeah, I can't get to you. I can't get to you. The only thing I can do is send you to oblivion.
Oh, like banish me? No, I don't want that.
Nope, you're done. Banished.
Is that what you're trying to do, Gordon?
Yes. Is it banned?
No,
kidding.
that was totally legal. All right, Blixel, you feel magic coming upon you. Are you trying to resist it?
I think I am gonna try to resist it, because I can't let this spellcaster get away again.
All right, fair enough. So please throw me a charisma saving throw, and Gordon, throw me a spell effect roll.
I'm sorry, Gordon.
It's just a level 4 spell slot. It's no big deal.
Why don't you banish the creatures that are attacking me?
Because we have 1 turn left. You would guaranteed to live.
He wants to try to kill Jelena with his.
Well, just remember, after the minute ends, he appeared back there. So,
No, but I can bring him back. I can drop it.
right, but he would still appear back where you banished him. So after the army
Yeah.
overruns that area, he would pop back in.
Yeah. But I'm assuming I passed.
You succeeded.
so.
Yeah, no effect.
We can't let her get away again. You can't hear it, but that's what Bucks will say.
He's probably like, who in the world just cast magic on me? All right, this one's turn.
Lieutenant Devlin hears him and he says, "We don't know where she is, counselor."
I don't need to see her. I don't need to see her.
Sure, he doesn't. He's used this trick before.
All right, I think we're to Saline macro.
Yes, sir. That'll catch her. She's standing right there.
Okay, Blixel.
Okay. Blixel is going to move to here. And then he is going to do Dissonant Whispers on the Necromancer
All right, go ahead and post it.
at 3rd level.
Come on.
Ah, damn. The damage is not going to be enough.
It has no effect, Blixel.
Oh, she's too far. Okay. And
Damn,
then,
it was banished.
well, it's fine. This is the
No, I
end
know.
of combat, right?
I'm just having a humorous day.
And that's the end of his turn. Because drinking a potion is an action, right?
That is correct.
So, yes, that will be the end of his turn.
Okay, this one was dropped by Lieutenant Devlin. Lieutenant Devlin, 1d20, please. All right, he is dead. Okay, and then we are to Lieutenant Devlin for the macro. And Blixel macro.
East, east.
All right. Okay, we move to this one's turn. He is so barely in that fracas that I'm going to say he's not really impacted. So he's going to throw a boulder at you, Tavern.
And I am not dodging.
Right. That boulder's going to hit you. For 18, knocked down to 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And then he's going to move a bit further away from the fracas. Okay, I think we're back to Tavern for this fracas.
What happens when a fracas hits a fracas?
We haven't even discussed that yet, so we're going to find out. All right, well, let's see. Gordon fracas movement. All right, this guy is still up. 1 is Blixel, 2 is Lieutenant. He's attacking Blixel. Blixel, give me a defense roll, please.
I'm going to use the Hero Stone.
Okay, so use your reaction to make this at disadvantage. All right, and yes, that will miss. All right, so that was 2 rounds of personal combat, so we're going to move back to the war board. All right, and then we're going to apply the results of what occurred in the last warboard move. So as a reminder, the skeletal army invaded you guys. You guys eventually got the result of fallback. So you'll have to fall back to here. And then I'm going to move your little indicators. So as a reminder, you guys have suffered 1 hit. So you'll notice that 1 hit icon on your card is here. That's always pointing the direction of the card. So because you've suffered a hit, you can think of this as about 100 infantrymen in your unit have been slain or wounded so bad that they can't really fight any longer. So if you attack, you're attacking in melee 2 now instead of a melee 3. This unit fully takes that space. Okay, let me bring the sequence of play back up. Okay, so we did the movement. We did, let's see, melee attacks was resolved. So the next thing to resolve is moving missile attacks. So the archers move, so they can shoot now. So, let's see, right. So you guys technically haven't fled yet. So they won't shoot because otherwise they would risk shooting you guys. So we would get through the attack phase. We move to the morale phase. You guys fall back. See, nothing else is in there. Now we move back to the top. Okay, so sometimes you have to make a morale check to see if your soldiers are still willing to fight or if they try to flee to the reserve. Because your card said that you guys fall back and not rout, you don't have to make a morale check, so you guys are still able to control your unit. Celine, that's primarily you. So we move back to the movement phase. So the movement phase is attacker moves, then defender moves. So remember, you guys are considered the attacker in this. So Celine, how would you like to move your unit? And I'm doing the same for how Milena is controlling your other troops here.
How long does a round on this map take? Like
5 minutes.
If we fall back, do we think we can find each other in those 5 minutes and discuss?
Yes, I would say the fact that you guys have fallen back, your unit has detached from the enemy. The infantry that died or are so badly wounded, you still see them on the battlefield. The undead are probably going around popping them. But you guys have fallen back, and yes, I would say you could collect back in the center of your unit.
All right, guys, what do we think? If I understand correctly from what I read of the addendums, if we were to move... I know Milena told us to engage the skeletals, but if we were to move into them, then I still would not be able to use my fireball before our guys engage, right?
Right, because if you move, then you both move at the same time. So if you want to cast Fireball, your best bet would be to not move, because then that way you're not moving, so you're considered at like the stationary mark. So when they move in, you would be able to resolve your magical attack technically before they move on top of you.
Right, but we don't know what they'll do, and she went invisible, so she might be trying to run, and the army has to stay with her, right? That's what we
That's what Lord
established.
Derek explained to you. Yep.
So if they run, or if they move onto our archers, and I stay here, if they move on our archers and I stay here, I can still get the fireball off before they move, or no, because they're now technically in this spot.
You would not be able to hit them with a fireball, correct? So you can't shoot diagonal.
And what is the point of magic? Because it kind of seems like it only works if they're dumb enough to charge you.
We could theoretically move here, and then if they are either moving towards us or towards the archers, you'd be able to cast it.
But if we move, then I don't get to do it. It's only if I stand still.
Move, you can still cast the spell, but if you cast a spell into a space where there's both friendly and enemy units, then your spell hits both of them.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to avoid. We don't want to hit our guys. It's tough. It's really tough.
And our guys aren't moving themselves? Are we controlling the archers and the cavalry?
No, Melena's
Melena
controlling them. So, yeah, if you want to wait to see how they act, I think I had them move before you guys before anyway, so you can do that. All right, so Celine, go ahead and roll me a d20. Okay, so Melena is going to take her mercenary cavalry, and she's going to charge this unit.
Nice. That's what I was hoping would happen.
The archers are not going to move.
Okay, so now... Oh, this is so hard. So, they are engaged now.
They are pre-engaged, so they are about to be engaged, but not quite engaged.
But the undead army cannot move.
Correct.
No. So I can get off a fireball this turn before her knights hit.
Correct.
Then that's what we're gonna do. I think, right, guys?
Yep,
Any objections?
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds like the best case scenario for us, honestly.
All right, so attackers moved. Now defender would move, but they can't. So now we move to the resolve magical attacks.
Now, how do I do this?
You are going to make a spell effect roll.
That's a pretty high one.
Nice.
And I'm going to double check my rules here. Okay, so what you're going to notice is you're shooting a fireball into the unit. I'll bring this to the front. Okay, so your fireball strikes it. I will say what you notice, however, is when the fireball strikes it, it is wounding them, but you notice it's not having as much of an effect as you would expect. You sort of suspect that maybe there's some magical protections on this unit. So what this is going to do, it's going to be treated as though you've done a hit to the target. So this is going to force the unit to be changed to one hit. So I'm going to roll them over like that. Okay, and then the stationary missile attack would occur next. So this is the archers now shooting. This is a missile 4 against a defense of 7. So this is a -3. So I think, didn't I build you guys something for the battle cards? If not, let me just remind myself how many of these there are. Right, so I just need someone to roll me a d6. Might as well be you, Celine, since you're controlling this.
Got it.
All right, so that's the 5th card. All right, and as a reminder, this is considered the archers are the attackers. So it's shield against shield. So that's the first row in the second column. And this is at a -3. So we see there's a dash there. So attack minus defense is dash, so that the archers have no effect there. All right, and then
The defense really doesn't go down at all, huh?
the defense does not. No, undead on the battlefield are known to be very, very tough. Okay. All right, so that resolved the stationary missile attack. So the next thing we do is resolve the charge. So Milena did a charge with her unit, and she was successful on her strategy check, which Saline rolled the 11. So she's actually charging at a 6 against a defense of 7. So this is at a -1. So go ahead and roll me a d6 there again, Saline.
All the pressure's on our little wizard.
All right, so this is 2. So this is going to be flag against shield -1. So flag against shield -1 is nothing. So we can see, again, flag shield -1, nothing. Okay, now in the response to that, the undead are going to attack the cavalry. And the undead are attacking at a 3 right now because they've suffered a hit. And the cavalry's defense is a 3, so this is a straight up. Saline, another d6. All right, pick the 6th card. So this is going to be shield against flag straight up. Okay, and we see shield flag straight up, no hit. Okay, so that round of battle goes by, and essentially not much mechanically. You guys wounded them with the fireball, of course. Okay, so now we move to the next sequence of play. Result of the attacks, no morale issues. We're back to the top. So attacker can move. You guys might not know this, but again, because the mercenary cavalry are mounted, they can move and they don't get engaged by foot soldiers. So they're going to go ahead and move. The archers are going to stay there. What would you like to do?
Now what, boys?
Have I had time to like heal up? Should we go back in?
So again, about 5 minutes passes in these turns. If there was something specific you wanted to be doing during that time, you could have. If you were saying like, oh, I want to cast a bunch of healing spells, I'd prefer you had said that earlier, but I'll let you do it now.
Well, I have a potion of healing. I could just drink that.
Sure, you could do that.
Okay, I'll do that.
So the problem I see is that if we go in, we're still attacking into 7 defense.
Right.
So I don't see how we really accomplish anything. The only chance we have is if we happen to find Chelina and get rid of her within the round limit where we eventually go down. Because if we go in, I think our unit is destroyed, like 100%. I don't see how we.
Yeah, I don't think we have any advantage in that.
Yeah.
What are our other options?
Yeah, is there like a list of actions you can do?
As far as your army unit, it's pretty much what you see on the card there. You can move. You have a defense rating to stop attacks. You have the melee strike to wound the other unit if you're in that same area. But yeah, really at this point, you can make you can move your one space if you want to try to avoid the skeletons rolling on top of you, for example. If you think that's what's going to happen, you could move. You can make that strategy check to see if you can boost one of your stats if you want to try that. Again, it sounded like based on Saline's stats, you probably have 50-50 chance of either harming or hurting yourself. But that's another option you could try.
I think the best bet is probably the cavalry. So if we can like move out of the way, maybe just let the cavalry whack at them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think the best we could do is kind of dodge to the left or something like that.
If we... Okay, let's think about what they could do. Let's say we go to the left, then defender gets to choose. They're probably going after the archers in that case, unless they want to retreat, which I'm not certain that they do. If I'm Chelina, I see the archers isolated over there, and I close on them.
Yeah. Then maybe we go to the right because the cavalry has they can charge.
Yeah, maybe. And then we're in position to help the archers on the next turn if we need to. The other option, the other option is to engage, and now that they're at melee 3, our defense is still 3, right? So that's a straight up thing. But that's so... This combat is so volatile. Like, I don't know
like
how to
war.
evaluate. I don't know how to evaluate, like, our chances of success there. And then if our unit ends up destroyed from that, we just... That's the end of our commitment to this battle, right? So...
Sounds good to me.
So you guys want to move to the right to support the archers in case the undead
I
come?
think that's I mean, I don't know what the right answer is, right? But I think that's the better of the bad options.
Yeah, since we can only move one, we gotta plan ahead for doing stuff. It's either that or go right at them, but like you said, we'll probably just die if we do that.
Yeah, and then they're back in the same spot because none of them are attacking this turn, right? Or I guess the archers could be able to, but they still get their shot off before the undead close on them if that's what they choose to do. I'm leaning towards we go over here.
Did only 2 cards engage at one time?
Nope, as many as want to engage can engage.
Well, then let's all descend on them.
Well, the thing, maybe, but Milena and the archers already committed their movement. She moved out, he's staying here. So if we go in, we're alone this turn.
Next time.
All right, so it sounds like move to the right.
I think so. I don't see engaging with them accomplishing anything besides just dying this round. We're moving to support the archers is our excuse when Milena asked us why we didn't do that.
All right, so you guys move, and all right, that is the movement phase, except for the defender moves now. So Celine, Chelina is going to try to bolster her melee attack for her unit. Roll me a d20, please.
Sir.
That is enough for her to be successful at that. So she's going to bolster her, or actually no, that's even, so that has no impact. So that will be melee still 3, but much like you suspected, she is going to move over to engage the archers. All right, so that's the movement phase. Magical attacks, I don't think anybody has anything left. Stationary missile attacks, the archers are going to fire. The archers are a 4 against a defense 7. D6 there, Celine.
We're going to get very lucky here. 4th card is the best card in the deck.
Oh, it is.
So missile 4, this is shield on shield at a -3. So unfortunately that's nothing. So shield on shield -3, nothing. And then counter attack, the Skeletons are attacking at a 3, defense of 2, so this is a +1. D6 there, Saline. Okay, card 6. All right, so shield on shield at a +1 is R. Defending unit takes 1 hit and is routed. Okay, so what that means is they have to move as quickly as they can back to the reserves.
Good. That's not good.
Okay, yep, so they will take a hit, so I'm going to rotate their card. So essentially you notice the undead army plows on in. You can see a lot of fighting going. A lot of the archers start to fall. Okay, that was the attack phase. So we're back up to the morale phase. So routed units flee. They only can move to... Actually, they can move into your space, so that's what they'll do. Let me just double check that real quick. Oh, actually, they cannot move into a friendly unit when they're routed, so they're going to move to here. And their movement is still a 2. But that, yeah, so the route counts as only one area. Okay, so they move to there. All right, and then we move back to the top of the round here. So this is now the movement phase. You guys are deciding how to move. The archers, since they're routed...
Can I cast a spell now?
What are you thinking of casting?
This 5-minute duration, right? Or a vitality for 1 minute, so I get 10 d6s to hand out.
Yeah, I would say you could do that.
All right. I don't see you guys' hit points, but I'm hanging out with you, so I think it's okay to ask what they need for healing. I would imagine, right?
Yeah, you can ask who's hurt.
I'm hurt and Tavard's hurt.
How many do you need? 2d6s. I get 10 of the. No, I get 10 of these.
Why don't you just split it between me and Tavard? Because we're the ones that both got the pus kicked out of us.
Hey,
Okay.
I tell you what, you take a little bit more than me, because I'm at least immune, not immune, but I'm resistant to bludgeoning, which is a lot of what they're doing. And like, so I would just say, you take, if there's a little bit more to split, then you could take the bulk.
Okay, I'll decide. This is then this is going to be 6 to Blixel. So can I do 12d6?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, that's fun.
Roll the big dice, right?
Whoa.
And then I'll do 4, so that'll be 2 times 4 is 8. 8d6 for Tabard.
Yeah, I'm back to full.
I feel gooder.
All right, Saline D20 as Milena tries to use her strategy to bolster her charge again. That's going to be enough, so she's going to move 1, 2, and then charge the skeletons.
Yeah.
And
I say we get in there.
If we get in there, do we have to attack?
You don't have to attack, no, but remember, you attacking doesn't automatically provoke a counterattack, so the enemy only gets to attack once. So if the mercenary cavalry charge and then they choose to counter the mercenary cavalry, or if you move in, basically they're choosing only one of you to counterattack, if you want to think of it that way.
Now
They'll probably target us, but what I'm worried about is we attack and we get a bad result that causes our unit to get fucked. Because we're attacking at -3, right? It's the lowest we can go because their defense is still 7.
Correct.
Yeah. We're going to be -3 no matter what, though, against these guys.
It's true.
Unless they start
So if I
Or we could try to bolster them Like we could try to do that, but even then, I don't know how much it goes up by.
Even if we bolster, it'll go up by 1, so we'll be attacking 3 into 7, so it makes no difference.
Yeah.
We could try to bolster our defense, right?
You could,
But
yeah.
if we lose the roll, then we're in bad shape.
But we just have to get over a 10, right?
I don't know what number we need to hit.
You need to get a 15 in order to get it a +1 to that bolster. If you roll a 10 or less, it's actually a -1.
I'm at +4. I mean, I think it's even odds. I think we figured that out last time, so...
Yep.
You guys feeling lucky? You want to flip a coin? And even then, like, maybe we roll a card that is worse for us if we have one more defense point. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty random. It seems.
I
like.
can't make sense of this system with how few times we've done it.
Let's go in and assassinate them.
So if they attack us, like, what does that mean for the mercenary cavalry that's also attacking them?
If the
Just
undead
because
attack you
I-
guys, then the mercenary cavalry charges, but there's no counter attack against them.
So they win?
It depends on what
Sorry,
the
I'm-
card says.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to catch up since I missed the other.
Yep, yeah, no worries.
What?
I would say Saleen's pretty much summarized it pretty well, where war is very chaotic, and sometimes the numbers, even if you have good numbers, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a good result, which, again, is much matches what you would expect on a battlefield. It's very kind of random in a sense.
Yeah, I understand. I just don't know how to strategize around that, you know?
I think that's half the point, right? Because if you were like, oh, I know if I do this every time, this is going to happen, then it would like kind of defeat the purpose of war, you know?
Sure.
All right, so final decision. What are you moving, guys?
I think I'm always risk averse. I don't want to flip a coin. I think we just leave it up to fate. 0 to 0. Swing in.
Okay,
What is
if
that?
Melania
What is 0 to
dies-
0?
If Melania dies, are we in charge?
Nah, your council might technically be in charge, but as far as like blooded ruler ruling the land, no.
Oh, that's right.
Unless we free Vin.
Yeah, we gotta get Vin out at that point.
Yeah.
If we go back in, is there personal combat again? Like, are we gonna see skeletons, or is it just strictly the cards?
Nope, you would get it back into personal combat.
So I think we dented them last time. I think if we are strategize more, we can put a big damper on the
AKA
big ones.
actually go for the girl.
Hey, I was trying.
Yeah, we got her close.
Yeah, but
You're
I
you're
tell you-
always trying from the back of the battlefield.
so my concern is then she's invisible right now, and that lasts an hour. So all she has to do is just not participate and just hang out. And if we roll bad on the war table, then she kind of
Well,
wins by default.
I got a
No.
solution for that.
Lixel has a solution for it.
I have a
Okay.
potion of sea invisibility.
Oh shit!
I was thinking about drinking it during that battle, but
How long does that last?
good question.
Actually,
Probably
when
the
you
same
hit
as
the
this.
fireball, you hit her with the fireball. She failed her concentration on. So just to let you know.
I think
I'm
it's
go-
just
Oh, he's talking about maybe I hit her when we hit the army.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure the potion of invisibility is the same as an invisibility spell. So an hour.
Oh, the
It's a
sea
potion of
invisibility.
Oh, however long sea invisibility is, yeah.
Yeah, it's an hour. That's what it says. An hour.
Okay. Yeah, chug it and let's go in. You find her for us, and we'll stick close to you.
I can maybe fairy fire too if I get
Nice.
within range for that. Okay, I will. If we go in, I will drink this potion of invisibility as we charge forward.
All right. I think I don't want to attack. I think I just want to move into their space because Attacking gives it two chances for the cards to fuck us, and if we don't attack, then only if the undead attack us and hit us, then we're in trouble. And maybe Milena will join us on this personal combat battlefield as well. She's in the same space. I don't know. Any objections?
Nope, let's do it.
We're going in.
All right.
Yeah. Just as long as there's no downside to us just going in.
No, there's no downside at all.
There's always downsides to everything, but let's find out what happens. All right, so both units move in. So first we're going to resolve the charge. So she bolstered her charge to a 6, so this is 6 against 7, so just a -1. Saline, D6, please.
You know, I think it's really unfair that I have to roll this. I think Milena should roll this because it's her.
I try to put all the dice in your hands, right?
I just typed roll with 3 L's.
Oh, that
So
means
we're
you
gonna try
lose,
that
lose, lose. All right, so this is flag against shield -1. So flag against shield -1. Defending unit takes a hit. So that means this charge is effective against the skeletons, and the skeletons are hit.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
All right, so I'm going to rotate them to 2 hits.
Oh shit, they have 3 hit points. Fuck me. I
Yeah,
didn't
so
do
they're,
that.
they're almost
Oh my
destroyed.
god.
All right, their melee's down to a 1. All right, you guys said you didn't want to attack. Now, on their turn to attack, they get to choose which unit to hit. And, of course, they're going to pick you guys because you guys are wounded. So they're attacking at a 1. Your defense, I believe, is a 3. Yep. All right, so D6, Saline.
Alright. And no chance to, like, inspiration this if this goes bad?
Unfortunately not.
Green is
6.
good.
All right, so this is shield against flag -2. Shield against flag -2. Attacking unit falls back. So essentially they are overwhelmed as they're trying to attack you. And assuming that the personal combat goes in your favor, the skeletons will be forced to fall back when we move back to Warboard. All right, so we're taking you guys back to the battlefield.
Don't they have something where they don't do it unless it's magical?
Oh, actually, that might be an effect on their card. Let me double check.
We want them
Sorry.
to attack so Milena can charge next turn, though.
Oh,
I know,
yes.
I'm just saying, I read that on their card, so.
Yes, you are correct. So they ignore all fallback and route results except those caused by magical attacks. So they will not have to fall back. Okay, so let's get you guys over to the
Noah,
battlefield.
whose side are you on?
The rules, my best side. All right, so once again, I'm going to allow you guys to put yourself where you would like, because again, this is, you're not fighting the same units that you were fighting last time, right? This is like a mix. You're going to notice that the forces have been somewhat replenished. I didn't replenish the hill giants because there's not enough of them to have whole new hill giants skeletons, if that makes sense, but there are enough regular skeletons and ogre skeletons to still have enough on the personal battlefield. You'll also notice the fracases have been randomized of where they are. I put you guys approximately in the middle. You can feel free to adjust yourself somewhat within reasonability, but like you can't move like all the way back here, for example.
I would like to know
Okay.
what it is.
And I'm going to have Wixelhead drinks that potion of see invisibility as
Okay.
they're charging in.
All right, any played cards, of course, are no longer in effect, so I've removed those from the table. Once you're all in a spot that you feel comfortable with, just go ahead and type in a chat that you're set, and I'll move forward.
How far does see invisibility let you see, Noah?
It's just you see it.
Um,
For the duration, you see invisible creatures and objects as if they were visible.
so I would like to be next to you so that you can communicate that to us. Where she's
Okay.
at.
Gotcha.
So
All right, so
wherever
I'm
you're-
probably going to be fairly up front, up to like at least where I am here, just so I can actually see across and find her.
Don't worry, Counselor Celine. I'll protect you.
Oh, you could do some protecting if you came a little closer, whoever you are. I think she's out of AoE spells. I hope she's out of AoE spells. She used a lot.
All right, I see 2 people say they're set. The rest of you guys, if you're set, just go ahead and type in the chat there.
I actually will. I'm still within 5 feet if I duck behind the rock. So, some cover.
All right, 5 sets. Nobody move. Okay, we are back in the midst of this war. So as the infantry unit moves in, visually you can think of this as you're seeing cavalry kind of push in, smack into some of the undead, pushing from the western side of the battlefield. And again, these fracases represent some of those cavalry engaged with undead units, some of your infantry engaged with undead units. Your forces certainly outnumber those right at the moment. You guys are sort of pushing into the battlefield and trying to take the fight to Chelina. All right, and let me just make sure I've got everybody in initiative. Yep, looks like everybody's there. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. All right, this one's going to move down, and Blixel, since you're in the top there, he's going to go ahead and fire an arrow off at you. Give me a defense roll. Okay, that is going to hit. It's going to pierce into you for 8 points of damage. All right, we'll start at the first slot again. So Tabard, macro, please. All right, this one. Also shooting at you, Blixel, defense roll.
Wait a sec. Oh, go ahead.
That one you managed to evade. This hill giant skeleton comes tumbling down. Grabs a huge chunk of rock next to him. And he's going to chuck that at you, Blixel. Defense roll.
Boy, Blixel, they hate you.
All right.
Once again, seeing this boulder coming, you dodge. It smashes into the ground nearby, leaving a little crater there. This ogre skeleton marches across the battlefield. And yeah, Blixel, you're in the front, so you're going to take this shot as well. Another defense roll. You managed to evade that one as well.
Haha!
All right, Gordon, your turn.
All right. 5. You guys see anybody? Where's she at? No one can hear me. Never mind.
We can't hear you.
I know. I just said that. Uh, 10, 15. I'm gonna go there. 15. I'm gonna take a dodge action.
Okay, and I think we are at Gordon for the macro. All right, and let's see after that. Skeleton Warrior. Blixel, another defense roll. You evade that arrow as well in the chaos of combat here. That ogre skeleton's going to charge on down, and we get to Tabard's turn.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and patient defense. I'm going to try to take Blixel's side there. I'm going to strike out at this thing twice.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me, but I'm not using my Warhammer because I remember that these things may be not too much against. I mean, maybe have some against magic there. So I'm going to strike it 3 times with my unarmed strike.
Just twice, because use bonus action to patient defense.
Yeah, but I want to hit it 3 times instead, though. But I'll
Twice will be
allow
enough.
it.
I believe in
Yeah.
you, Bill.
20's gonna hit. As before, you'll notice bludgeoning damage seems particularly effective.
Yeah, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and move him back 5 feet any direction. Yep, there you go. And I'm going to march forward just because I can. That way there, get him a little bit out of reach from my guys there. And that is with advantage.
All right,
Nice.
yeah, let's go ahead and see it.
All right, and also I have pressure too, so we'll see.
All right, so go ahead and post your damage. We'll do some quick calculations. All right, so your maximum is 11. So take your 11 and then roll your damage and add the result. So that's 22. And because he's vulnerable, that's 44 damage. He is dropped to the ground.
All right,
Nice.
so I am going to flex, and then I'm going to go ahead and end my turn.
All right, Saline.
All right. See, Blixel, do you see her?
Do I see her? I'm looking at specifically to see if she remounted one of these big dudes.
Based on your passive perception, you don't spot her through the chaos of war, but on your turn, you can certainly use an action to actively perceive and see if she might be there.
Dodging too many hits to get a good look.
What do we even keep you around for? I don't think there's anything I can do to kill this guy. So I think the best thing I can do, not knowing where Chelina is start picking off the little guys to try to swing the action economy in our favor. So I'm going to come here. We're going to... Oops. Shatter is a 10-foot radius. Now, I might want to try to hit all those guys if I can, but I don't think I can. Let's try. Let's cast Shatter. Where am I? Where did my card go? There we are. So. Oh, I don't have my token selected. That would help. Where is the reticle on top of me?
It is indeed, yep. Let me move it.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, there's no way I can get all of those guys.
And just remember,
Yeah.
the range of shatter is 60 feet, so the center would have to be within that.
Yeah, let's see. You are right. If I put it here, I could at least hit these two. So, oh my god, I'm sorry. Is that enough to hit the giant?
I think it should for the macro purposes. If it doesn't, we'll have you roll it separately and say it hits him.
And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go right there and we're gonna hit the giant and the one other guy, because if I move it to the left, it's not gonna clip.
She could be inside, you never know, right?
Yeah, it's a 1 in 3. So, and maybe she's standing right in the middle of them for like moral support. So
Yeah, you know those skeletons, they need that moral support.
I would if I were a skeleton. I would be feeling very self-conscious about my body image. Trigger all.
All right, looks like it did not apply to the giant, so go ahead and throw me a spell effect roll.
Once again, excellent damage coming through from our good friend Shatter. Spell effect roll is a 15.
He will succeed on that, so I will take 3 damage off of him.
I'm contributing. And then we will start falling back. I took 5 movement to get here, so I'm going to go around this rock to Gordon. Blixel doesn't know where he is. Where she
Where'd
is.
you come from?
Blixel doesn't know where she is. We just gotta keep taking shots until we find her.
All right, I think we're to Saline for the macro. All right, and then Serena. Okay, and then Lieutenant Devlin's turn.
Okay. Man, we're a one-trick pony. And we don't know if this one's down yet, right?
It is down, but you're not sure if it's going to stay down.
Yeah.
It's a 95% chance. What's the worst that could happen? Every
Depends
time.
on who's
It happened
rolling.
twice to me.
Hello, good sir. I'm going to hit you now.
23
Nice.
will hit. Wounding the creature. 13 will also hit. Wounding it again. 21 will hit. All right, wounding the creature with 3 slashes of the long sword.
Take that. All right. Well, I guess I'll just stay here.
All right, this one's turn. It's going to move down to here and fire an arrow at Blixel. You evade that pretty easily.
Look, so I think they got. I think they got word. Hey, get that elf there.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, and then Blixel, you're going to notice the familiar blast of necrotic energy. We're going to need a defensive roll at disadvantage as you don't know exactly where it's coming from. That's going to hit.
Can I hero point that?
You can, yeah. Go ahead and burn your reaction to hero point.
Let me just make sure I have one. Yep.
All right, that gets you up to a 20, so that will miss. Now, I would say you and Tabard can both give me perception checks to see if you spot where this is coming from. Tabard, you do not. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said blind check.
I'm sorry.
Also. No, you're good. I didn't say blind, but that's what I meant to say.
He's giving you another chance. Don't waste it.
All right, so deja vu. Blixel, you see where this is, but nobody else does. I will reveal this. Only people within 5 feet, if Blixel shares this information, know where this is.
Yeah. I mean, I'll begin pointing directly at her as soon as I see her and shouting, but yeah.
All right, you're going to take 2 additional arcane blasts. These are just straight up at this point. That one's going to hit. And that one will miss. All right, so this arcane burst of necrotic energy strikes into you for 27 points of damage. All right, this one's turn. He's going to plow on in. And I think we're on Blixel's turn for the macro. Okay, Blixel, your turn.
Okay. I begin shouting that I see her. And this is a rock next to me I can't see past.
That is correct. So, Tabard, you can assume you're fully informed of that now.
Yep.
Can I walk on the body of the big thing here?
You can, yep. You're talking about the downed one, I assume, right?
Yeah, the down one. I'll walk up to here.
All right, so remember, because your allies engaged, that's difficult terrain, so that'd be 10, 15 to get where you are.
Okay. Shoot. I don't have the range for this, so I am just going to turn on the one next to me and begin slicing at it with the mocking blade. Going to do a second level smite.
All right. Yeah, that'll certainly hit.
Okay, I'll spend another bardic to make a defensive flourish. For
Nice
another
roll.
8 points to the AC. So it's 8 points of more damage. And then second level smite.
So that'll be 48. Well, let me recalculate that.
No, that's good. Good.
All right, so you pierce forward, striking the creature, lighting it up with radiant damage. It is wounded.
Okay. And I'll move up to here. I'll do another second level smite attack. That's my second attack. I have to deduct it manually, so man.
Yep, just make sure that you hit first before you deduct the next one, because remember, if you miss, it's not deducted. Yep, 13 will hit. Wounding the creature badly.
Nice.
All right. Well, since it's wounded badly, Vicious Mockery is the bonus action.
Okay. So spell effect roll. Yeah, that'll be critical. Go ahead and throw a psychic critical. All right, true crit. It had 4 HP left, so whatever you roll on the next dice, it definitely drops.
Okay. Yeah. So, then I will move. How much did I move? I moved 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I start pointing as much as I can and trying to get people's attention to the one where she is.
You try, but with soldiers all around you, it's hard to make heads or tails of that. Alrighty, this one's turn. Gonna come down and fire a shot at Lieutenant Devlin. Lieutenant Devlin, NPC defense roll, please. Whoop, Libby, do we still have you? There we go. All right, yes, that is going to miss. All right, this one's turn. Gonna make his way over to here, and this shot will be at Tavern. Tavern defense roll.
And
You're
that's
currently patient defense.
Yes.
All right, so that will miss. Okay, Blixel, defense roll. All right, you're adding 8 to that because of your defensive flourish, so yes, you will evade that as it comes in. Okay, I think we're back to the front, if I'm not mistaken. Tavern macro.
And after this here, is this a good time to take a break?
Yes, yep, we're almost at the end of the round here. Okay, yep, that puts us at the top of round 2. So yeah, let's go ahead and pause there, folks, and take our 15-minute break. We'll see everybody back in 15. Alrighty, folks, we are back on the second half of our session here. Team is in the middle of a battle, a war, in fact, as they're fighting this undead unit. Team, let's go ahead and get you guys back over to the map. And let's go ahead and put on our more appropriate music. All right, we are at the top of round 2. As a reminder, it's 3 rounds of personal combat before we move out to the warboard. So this is round 2 of personal combat. All right, this skeleton here is going to take a shot after he moves. He's going to take a shot at the lieutenant. Lieutenant NPC defense roll. All right, managed to evade that arrow. And I don't recall where we left off. I'm going to guess Gordon. Gordon, go ahead and click the macro. All right, this one's turn. He's going to take a shot at Blixel. Blixel defense roll. You will manage to evade that as well. Alright, this guy's going to come on down here, grab a huge chunk of rock, and he's going to throw it to the lieutenant. Lieutenant, defense roll, please. Yes, you managed to evade out of the way of this huge boulder coming. Alright, this ogre skeleton also attacking the lieutenant. Another defense roll. Able to evade that as well. You guys are rolling fire on your defense rolls. All right, this one's going to march down to here, and he is going to throw a boulder at Tavern. Tavern defense roll. All right, even on advantage, that is still going to hit. That is going to be 29 points of bludgeoning damage, cut in half for our dwarf, so to 14. Gordon.
5, 10. I'm going to take my dodge icon off. So I'm gonna move there. I'm in 30 feet of Blixel. Put my token in the square properly. And Tavard, well, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna pop Aura of Vitality again here. And then as a bonus action, 2d6 to, this is healing to Blixel.
Okay.
And then I want to keep that concentration. I can pop out. So looks like there's a battle. So I'm gonna come back around here. There. Yeah, I want to go there. And I will end my turn. So I got a 30 foot thing going on.
Okay.
Blixel gives you a big thumbs up when you heal him, and then points it over his shoulder at the giant.
Well, I don't have a lot of attack stuff, so that's on somebody else.
Saline Macro. Alrighty, this one's turn. He's going to make his way down here with bow still in hand. He's going to fire at Blixel. Blixel defense roll. Alright, with your +8, that'll be good enough. Alright, this guy was dropped by Tabard. Tabard, 1d20, please. Alright, that one is truly gone. Tabard, it is your turn.
All right, and if I remember right, this is a slight hole or something.
Yes, that is like a ditch.
So getting through that, can you just tell me
Counted
how
as difficult
much...
terrain.
Okay, but is that just 5 over for that?
So it would be 5, then difficult terrain, 15, and then 20. So yeah, if you're just going straight, 1 space of difficult terrain.
Not that it may matter, but it may, right? You know, so. I'm having a hard time opening my character sheet right now. All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I couldn't hear the music anymore, so I wasn't sure if maybe something else happened. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is let me do a quick measurement, Adam. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use my action to dodge. I'm going to use my key point for Step of the Wind.
Okay.
And with that there, I get 45, so that'll be 90 feet of movement. So I'm going to move 75 to get there. And the way I did that, the archers, if they were holding, you know, arrows, they could have a, you know, attack of opportunity against me. But, you know.
Just show me your path real quick. So you were
Here, and I basically... went up here and then went to the side over here, and then, you know, because I have 45 feet of movement.
Yep, yeah, I'm just
You know.
checking reaches, but yeah, okay, with that, makes sense.
Yeah, so, and I am currently dodging as well. That'll end my turn.
Okay, Saline.
All right, we're going to peek out. 5. Oh my god. 10, 15. There's so many guys. Could go up to Blixel and ask where she's at.
How do you know
But
Blixel
then,
knows?
Because he's gesticulating wildly over there. He's clearly trying to get my attention
That's
somehow.
just spell casting, clearly.
Well, maybe so.
We knew he had sea invisibility, so he better be looking.
Yeah. I don't think she would in the chaos of this. There's so many guys just all around, so... We're gonna... This guy is down. This one next to
Yes.
Blixel. Okay. We're gonna. We're gonna firebolt this one to try to get the marshal guy unengaged here, so that
Okay.
he can move up. I think that's
Lieutenant
what she would
Dan.
do. Yeah. So
Oh, there
here
you go.
comes that.
That'll hit. Scorching the ogre skeleton.
And then I still have my bonus action, so I will Sanctuary Blixel because he's looking kind of hurt. I'll go ahead and click that for you. I'll go ahead and click that for you when I find it on the list.
I feel a protective energy on me.
And then
It must be Gordon.
with my remaining 15 feet, I'm going back behind my rock.
Okay.
It's the great Amani.
All right, I think we're up to Serena macro. And Blixel macro. All right, the lieutenant.
All right, I'm gonna try to get this guy off our back.
That'll hit. Wounding the ogre skeleton. That'll hit as well. That will drop him.
Nice.
All right. Let's do some movement. Is this square difficult?
If you go just there, I would say no. It's really the 2 squares west of that. All right. That can work. As you move through that space, however, you will provoke an opportunity attack from the hill giant here, the hill giant skeleton with his big club. So I'll need an NPC defense roll. That is going to hit. Walloping you for 14 points of bludgeoning damage. Anything else on the lieutenant's turn?
Sorry, I was pressing the wrong button. I can just keep track of that on the green circle.
Yep, yeah, you're all set. All right, this skeleton's turn. He is going to drop his bow, make his way back to here, and once he gets to here, Tavern, he's going to attempt to shove you to prone. So I'll need your choice of an athletics or acrobatics check.
I'm going to give an acrobatics on that.
He successfully shoves you to prone.
I have inspiration to give you.
Well, what were you going to say first, Tavern?
I was going to say I was going to try to hero point that.
You can use a hero point on that, burning your reaction if you wish. $16 is exactly what you needed, so you're not knocked prone.
Woo.
All right, on Chelina's turn. She is going to drop 3 arcane bursts on your head, Tavern. I'll need 3 defensive rolls at advantage.
I'm dodging.
Yep.
And she still has advantage?
Well, you have advantage, is what I mean.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I thought you said that. Sorry, I misunderstood. I got a little nervous there, you know.
All right, so the first one would be a fumble. So go ahead and throw me a... This is actually considered a ranged attack, so go ahead and throw me a ranged fumble.
I want big money.
Okay, so that's a miss, and then 2 more.
Yeah, but if I live to tell about it, I'm going to make sure everybody knows.
That one
Nice.
is going to hit you. That one is also going to hit you. That's 42 points of necrotic damage to our plucky little dwarf. All right, this one was dropped by Blixel.
This is working the way I thought it would.
Yeah, I mean, usually with advantage, it's super in your favor. You just rolled terrible like 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
All right, that one is down. All right, and then I think we are back to the front. I think we're at Tavern for the macro. All right, we'll move 1 there, and Blixel's turn.
Okay. Blixel is going to run up. Run up to here. And he's going to cast Fairy Fire as a racial ability.
That one is on Smart AoE, so go ahead and use that.
I can't select that. I didn't want to put it there. Yeah, let's do it. 1 over. Would that technically get this guy?
If it doesn't, we'll say it does. I forget what the actual rule is. Yeah, there you go. That should get both of them.
I can move it right here. Yeah. I want to make sure I get what's her name as well. Chelina.
She should be in there. No,
whoops.
just do
I'm
trigger
sorry.
all. All right, Chelina, and
damn.
one of the giants passes. One of them does not. All right, let's see. It didn't add the icon, but I'm going to assume it rolled her and then the one she's on and then the lower east one. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on that one.
Okay. That is the end of my turn.
Alrighty, this one's turn. Gonna move up to here and shoot at the lieutenant. Lieutenant, NPC defense roll. That's good enough. That will evade the shot. This one will come over to here, also shooting at the lieutenant. NPC defense roll. The lieutenant cannot be touched. All right, move to this one. All right, he is right next to you, Tavern, so he's going to smash down with his great club twice. I need 2 defensive rolls. You have advantage. All right, you managed to evade both of those.
That's what I was really hoping for, just to let you know.
That one makes more sense, right? Okay, I think we left off on Gordon for the macro. All right, that fracas will move there, encompassing one of our skeleton friends. And we move to the top of round 3. Remember, this is the last round of personal combat. Now, because they are forced to retreat, this red line isn't as important. If you're north of it, it's not a big deal. I would just say if you're... Actually, I'm going to move the red line to represent where you'll be in trouble if you get too far. All right, so if you end up north of there on the retreat, then you're really with their army at that point, kind of in a bad spot. Okay, so this one's going to go ahead and drop his bow. He's going to step up to here and take a longsword swipe at the lieutenant. Lieutenant, defense roll. Yeah, once again, just evading like crazy. Let's see, I think we're on Saline for the macro.
Sir.
This one will also drop bow and step to here, attacking, trying to attack Blixel. Sanctuary's off because you cast a spell, right?
That affects the creature? Yeah, he did.
Okay, so defense roll Blixel. He will manage to hit you, Blixel. It's going to be 10 points of slashing damage. All right, this giant, he's going to step up to here. And Lieutenant, here comes a great club from a hill giant skeleton twice. I need 2 defensive rolls. The first one manages to crash into you, dealing 23 points of damage. And then another defensive roll. That one is also going to hit for 16 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay, that's his turn. And we move to this guy who was dropped by the lieutenant. Lieutenant, 1d20. All right, he's dead. Okay, this one's turn. He's currently fairy fired by Blixel. He's going to move over to here, and he is going to swing at Blixel. Blixel, defense roll, please. That one is going to connect.
If you don't have anything else, I'll give you inspiration. No, well, you already.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else.
I'll let you still burn it. If you want to offer the inspiration, Saline, just go ahead and click yours, and then I'll let him re-roll his defense roll.
I will offer.
All right, Blixel, go ahead and re-roll your defensive roll. Okay, that attack will then miss. He will then attack you a second time.
Ooh.
That one will hit for 20 points of bludgeoning damage as this great club smashes into you. Gordon.
5, 10, 15. Half my movement. Count. I'm not going to be able to reach it. Let me think here, hold on. Okay, but I can do something. So that's 15, 5, 10, 15. There's 30 feet of movement. Blixel's got a sliver. He's fighting away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. I can't reach him with my aura, but I can action dash, bonus action, sanctuary. So, that action dash. Oh, there's 5. Now, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to do Sanctuary on him.
All right, yeah, go ahead and burn that.
Okay. And then I still have 20 more feet of movement, so 5, 10, and I'm going to end my turn there. So you're saying you feel Gordon's just popping all these, man. Okay.
All right, I think we were on Serena for this, macro Serena. All right, this guy here is going to move on up to Blixel and try to attack him. Okay, spell effect roll. Remind me, is that wisdom? Wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good enough. So he can't attack you, so he wastes his attack. Okay, Tavern, between a hard place and a hard place, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and use. Let's see, patient defense may be a good option here. And what I was hoping to do is just be able to start beating on this big one here. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna punch twice, and I am gonna crit at least 3 times out of that 2 hits.
All right, and this is against the hill giant skeleton?
Yes.
All right, let's see it. That will hit.
Well, it hits a hit, right?
As before, you will notice the skeleton is vulnerable to the bludgeoning damage. That'll also hit.
All right, and with that there, it's huge. I don't know if I can move him with Crusher. Let me take a look.
Provided the target is no more than one size larger than you.
Yeah. And it is definitely much larger than me.
But you have strength of spirit that he does not possess.
Yeah, and I'm also just cooler because I'm a dwarf, you know. This may not matter at all. Shoot. Oh, and I do gain 3 more points because of my dwarvism. I mean, my monkism here. So I'll get those 3 points because that could come in handy here in a second. Ouch. Trying to debate on if I want to, you know, I move or stand still. I may as well just stand still because no matter what, they're still going to get attacks on me. So I'm just going to stay where I'm at.
Okay,
At least not
Saline.
give them an opportunity attack, you know.
10. Oh my god, there's still so many. Well, I still don't know where she is. Let's look at my spell to see if there's anything I have left that can help. Not really. So we're gonna go for maximum surface area here again. I know this hasn't worked out for us so far, but it's the most damage I can do in one round, most likely. So we're gonna cast Shatter again. Wait. Let me measure first. No, we're not gonna do that because I can't get to an appropriate range. So instead, oh Jesus. I'm gonna try to carve a path for Blixel to try to get out of there, maybe. So, we will. I really don't have anything better, huh? Yeah, I'm definitely firebolting the one below Blixel.
All right, let's see it.
Hang on. I'm checking another range. 60 feet. So, we'll go for that. Come on, Chrome, don't do this to me.
That is going to miss.
Real hero point.
Okay. All right, 18 will hit the skeletal warrior. Scorching him badly.
And then with my bonus action, I will cast Healing Word on Blixel. He's exactly 60 feet away. Just try to keep him up for one more round. Where'd it go?
Okay, 5 healing to Blixel.
And pop around the rock.
Okay, and I don't remember where we left off. Were we on Blixel for the macro?
Sure.
All right, and then back to Tavern macro. Okay, the lieutenant.
Okay. And this one is the fairy fired one?
Yes, it is. Blixel, I don't see that you have concentration on you. I'm assuming that just didn't get added, right? You didn't lose it yet, right?
Oh, no. Yeah, it's because it's the racial thing, so I didn't cast the spell.
Okay, and you didn't suffer any damage between when you cast it and now?
No. Not
Okay.
since I've cast Fairy Fire.
All right, yep, just go ahead and add that stopwatch to yourself, and then, yeah, Fairy Fire's still up. All right, so you're stepping north, Lieutenant. The skeletal soldier.
Yeah, I just saw him there. He was under my...
Yeah, if you don't want to step north, you can move back south.
And I couldn't fit through between these two, could I?
So those creatures are huge, so you can actually move through their spaces. I think it's considered difficult terrain when you do so.
Okay. Well...
Yes, so you can move through them because they're 2 sizes larger than you, but it is considered difficult terrain since they're an enemy.
And even if I move here, it's still disengaging from them even though they have reach?
If you're asking if you provoke an opportunity attack, it depends if he has an attack that only has a reach of 5. If he has a reach of 10, then that would not provoke an opportunity attack.
Well, I know that he has one that has a reach of 10 because that's how he hit me in the first place.
That's right. So as long as he doesn't have another attack that only has a reach of 5, in which case he could say, I'm going to use that one to make my opportunity attack.
Oh.
But I'll just tell you he doesn't.
Well, I will move there then.
Okay.
And I'm going to go for this little one.
Okay. 23 will hit. 11 is enough to drop that one.
Great. And then I don't think I have reach, so... Oh no, I do. Do I have reach? No.
Not with a longsword, no.
And I'm going to hit this guy.
Okay. Ooh, 11 will miss. Hits against his shield. 7 will
Oh my
also
God.
miss.
That's a crit 7.
Yeah, it's a fumble, but since it's your third attack, it doesn't count as a fumble.
Okay, cool. Works for me.
All right, this one here. He is going to move to here to take the advantage of the flank on Tabard, and he's going to swing at you, Tabard. All right, so that is a 15. He is going to hit you.
Well, he did drop his weapon so he can push me, though, right?
No, he only has the weapon, so he doesn't actually have a shield right now, but he does hit you for 3 slashing.
I thought he wound up trying to.
Hey, that's the exact amount you got back, right? It did come in handy.
See that? All
There
right.
you go.
Now here's the bad part, Tabard. Shalina is looking down at you with terror in her face, and she's trying to ultimately devastate you here. So I'm going to need 3 defense rolls. I know you're rolling at advantage.
Yeah, well, while she's looking at me, I go, Blixel's over there.
Hey!
All right.
The first
I have
one is
more
going to
inspiration
hit
if you need
you, and the third one is going to hit you.
Okay, all right.
So I think I just heard Saline say she's offering inspiration. I'll let that go through for 1. So go ahead and burn inspiration if you're doing that, Saline.
And I can give one too.
Well, let's just do 1 because otherwise we're doing too much inspiration.
Okay, yeah. Just thought I'd offer it.
Guys, I don't think it's going to matter. I think no matter what, it's going to. I think I'm going to drop no matter what. So I'm not going to take the inspiration.
So you're going to get hit by both?
Yeah, because if I get hit by one, the other ones did total of 40 points of damage. Right?
I will say that there is a chance getting hit by both. You could be killed straight outright. It's not a really good chance, but it's a chance.
Yeah, the problem is I know I'm dropping regardless, and
Sounds like you want to just roll the dice, right?
yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, no matter. Yeah, I mean, you know where I'm going with this. I'm dropping anyway, so I'd hate to waste an inspiration.
So here comes 2 arcane bursts then. Okay, so the first one does 24. So that takes you to negative 14, which isn't really a thing, but this damage is stacking. So this would have to do 40, what would that be? 46 and 49 damage. Yeah, it can't do 49 damage in one, so you're good. All right, so you are hit a second time, and because that's range, that counts as 1 failed death save. So go ahead and apply 1 failed death save. And then nobody will hear this, but from the DM's perspective, there's an evil cackle. All right, let's see. We're here, and I think we're to Gordon for the macro. All right, Blixel.
Okay. I don't think there's a way for me to heal you, Tavern. What happens if he's unconscious at the end of this?
Not much, because they were forced to flee. So basically what you're noticing at the moment is the cavalry's like kind of coming in from this angle here and getting ready to like kind of crush into the mass of the troops. But all this is happening, simultaneously.
Okay. And does she look accessible in the skeleton?
Accessible? Do you mean like, can you go up there and dance with her, or what are you talking about?
Can I go up there and have my sword dance with her?
Not from the ground. So based on the height of the hill giant, she's probably about 15 feet in the air.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't save Tavern, but I can try to take out one of these giant guys to help our troops, I guess. So Blixel is going to start swinging or stabbing at the one that's fairy fired.
Okay.
He's got elven accuracy, so theoretically triple advantage.
All right, nice.
So I guess I'll just roll once and then roll another d20. And I'm also gonna spend a second level spell slot to do smite on this.
Okay. All right, so that will hit. Throw another 20 just to see if you crit. All right, so just a hit.
Okay. With this, I will do, I guess, defensive flourish.
Okay.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'll do.
.com. No pays of quickly
what?
Sounds like your
I'll do
Alexa was like, what were you saying?
yeah. I'll do a slashing flourish actually. To use that to deal extra damage to the target I hit and any other creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of you. So it's going to be this other guy.
Okay. All right, so 11 damage to the hill giant skeleton. Plus 19.
And then just 3, I guess, to the small skeleton.
All right, wounds that one as well.
And then he'll attack again with another 2nd level Divine Smite.
Okay.
Another triple advantage.
So that one will hit. Yep, just a hit. All right, wounding the creature again. Give me a quick, how many slots do you have left? I feel like you've been smiting a lot, so I just want to get a quick gauge on how many you got left.
So that's all my 2nd levels. So I just have 1st level spell slots left.
Got
I have
it.
2
Okay.
first level spell slots left.
Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, you've hit the creature twice, wounded it pretty badly. It's still standing, but you can see it looks quite damaged.
Okay. And is it would it be a bonus action to draw or a free action to draw my short sword?
What's in your hands right now?
Just the mocking blade.
Yeah, you could interact with object to draw a second weapon.
Okay. And then I will use my bonus action attack to attack it with another smite.
All right, the hill giant again?
Yes.
All right, yeah, let's see it.
So I have 1 first level left. And this is just a regular short sword.
Yep, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll another d20. Okay, so just a hit. Wounds it. And then 3d8 for the smite.
Oh, sorry. I rolled 48. My bad.
I'll just take the first 3 dice, so that's going to be 5.
Okay. Unfortunate. Oh, so close. All right. And that is the end of my turn.
Okay, this one's turn. He's going to come to here, and he's going to shoot an arrow at you, Blixel. You will evade that arrow. This one is all caught up in the fracas. Okay, this one's turn. Ugh. Choices. Being a huge creature, he can move through spaces of allies. He's coming down here with Chelina in his ribcage, and he's going to smack down at you, Blixel. I'm going to need 2 defensive rolls.
Okay. I am going to use my spell slot to use my reaction to do telekinetic parry. So the first one has disadvantage.
All right, no slots left. Okay, first one disadvantage. Let's see that. So it's not a crit, but it is going to hit you.
I have an inspiration to donate if he needs.
First, Lieutenant Devlin intercepts the attack.
All right, so that gives a +5, which is exactly what you need to block this attack. So Lieutenant Devlin manages to get in there just enough to get Blixel out of the way of the smashing club.
You're getting a raise.
All right, second attack comes down on Blixel. That one is going to hit.
And you have 2. I have an inspiration. So does Saline.
So can I spend? I'll definitely spend one because otherwise this thing's gonna.
Yeah,
Crush me.
I'll let you take someone's inspiration if someone wants to burn it.
How many do you have, Brian?
1.
I also have 1. Rock, paper,
Okay.
scissors?
No, I'll spend it.
All right, that will evade, and then Gordon, just go ahead and, yep, there you go. All right, excellent. So yes, you do manage to evade that one. This one's really not going to matter, so that takes us to the end of the third round of personal combat. So it's at this time that the cavalry is going to crash in. It's going to be kind of chaotic in the battlefield. The enemy starts retreating. I think the only thing I really want to see is I'm going to need a death save from Taver. The only player that can act before him is Gordon. Gordon, is there anything you can do?
Yeah, I still have 8 more rounds of my vitality.
All right, so I'll let you move how you wish.
There's no enemies, right? 10.
Well, they're in the midst of fleeing, but the cavalry is kind of swung in, so you're kind of running behind the horses at the moment.
Can I escort him?
Loosely, yes, but it's not really going to make any mechanical difference. It really just matters if he can get within range to use this ability.
Do you need me to
There's
roll
30.
the saving throw now?
Is it an action
So
to do it?
action, dash.
The heal is a bonus action, so he can dash forward.
Yeah, there we go.
30. I can pop him.
Okay, so you're within range, so feel free to hit him with a heal. Obviously, the -14 doesn't apply to Taver, so you won't have to make another death save. So I'm going to end this, and I'm going to take us back to the...
No. 2d6, sorry.
All right, I'm going to take us back to the war board. All right, so in all of this chaos of what's happening on the battlefield here, you guys are beaten, bloody, and bruised, but you will notice that the undead army has to fall back, so that's what it's going to do. At the moment, you and the cavalry are sharing the same square. The archers have fallen back into the reserves. All right, so we would move back to the top of the war effort, and Celine, throw me a d6. This is going to be a morale check on the archers to see if they can return to the battle or not. All right, so this is card 5. We haven't had to do this yet, but I'll explain this as I'm pulling this out. All right, so card 5 is this one. Or actually, sorry, that's the wrong one. So this is not one of those cards. It's one of these ones I choose. I don't even know how many are in here, so I'm just going to pick a random one. All right, that's the random card I just picked. That has a shield on it. Notice how on the Archer's card it says Morale, Swords, and then Shield. So since this one I just drew at random has a shield on it, that means they passed their morale check. So that means the Archers will be able to return to the battle. That takes their full turn to go there. On the Cavalry's turn, they are going to try that strategy roll. Milena is going to try that again. So Saline, D20, please. All right, so that's not enough to give a boost, but no penalty either, and they are going to move with a charge into this space. Would you like to move?
Hey, Adam, I'm going to roll my vitality, if that's okay while you guys
Yeah,
talk.
feel free, yeah.
Okay.
What do we want to do, guys? They're engaged. They've got hits left. Do we go in or?
I say we go in. We gotta help. We gotta help the cavalry. We gotta help our lord.
I don't think the battle could be won on this screen.
I don't know how we get to her though.
I know.
Yeah,
She's
we're
so far out there. I mean, just to get out there to go get her is just, unless she stays close,
I say we stay together as a group and nobody hangs back and we put it all on the field.
All right. It sounds like we're moving up to join the fray, Adam.
All right, you guys move in just behind the cavalry.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep. That's,
Times 2.
Got one more.
Yeah.
That seemed to be a good spell in this battle.
It is, for sure.
All right, so that was the movement phase. No magical attacks, no stationary missile, charge attacks. Okay, so this is the cavalry are charging at 5 against a 7, so this is a -2. D6 there, Saline.
Come on.
All
That's
right,
a good one, I remember. I don't remember.
I'm going to move this card just a little bit. All right, so we've got flag against shield at -2. So no hit there. In response, the Undead Legion is going to... Yeah, they're going to engage you guys because they don't really have much hope of trying to kill off the cavalry. So Chelina's going to make them attack you guys. They're only attacking at a 1 now. Chelina's going to try to boost that to a 2. So D20, Saline. That is enough to boost it. So that's going to boost it up to a 2. And let's see, you guys have a defense of 3. So this is going to be an attack at... So let's resolve yours first. Are you guys choosing to attack?
I say we might as well. There's less bad. They're already counterattacking us, so.
Yep.
Well, we're attacking it. We're still attacking at -3 because they've still got 7 defense.
But there's like way less of bad things that can happen to us as opposed to just nothing bad happening to them. We could still get lucky.
Yes, you could. And I'm looking at all the cards right now. I would say you figure there's like 9 possibilities. And on most of the cards, even at -3, there's 2 of them that result in a hit. Actually, that's how every single one is. So you've got a 2 in 9 chance of scoring a hit.
What's the chance? Well, I guess we don't know. What's the chance of us?
You actually
Taking a
can't
hit
take a hit when you attack, but you could be forced to fall back.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought there was a chance that we take damage on the attack.
Well, they're
No.
counterattacking.
Not their counterattack, right.
Okay, well, if they're counterattacking anyway, then yeah, we might as well.
Okay, so again, this is going to be at a -3, so roll me a d6, Saline. Card 6 again. All right, so you guys are flag against shield at -3, and that's nothing. So nothing there. All right, now they're attacking you. Shield against flag. They boosted their melee to 2. So this is 2 against your defense of 3. So this is at a -1. Another d6, Saline. 1. All right, so shield against flag at -1. No result. Okay, so all of the thick of this battle is going on once again, and you guys would enter the personal combat one more time. We've got about 15 minutes left in our session here. I'm going to make some quick adjustments to our battlefield to represent you guys re-entering the battle. So I'm going to put these guys more towards the back again as you guys are kind of approaching. I'm going to allow you guys to move yourselves where you would like on the battlefield. You can push yourself more up if you want, as their forces are kind of shrinking. So I would say you can move yourselves. Let me move this red line just a moment. I'd say you could be anywhere south of that red line that you like.
I smack her right there.
Not quite yet. Not quite yet.
Oh.
There's not a lot of rocks over here.
That is
Next
true.
to a fracas. Can that fracas go through that rock?
Yes,
Get
it
up
can.
here. Flying V formation.
Fudge. Saline, move. Just
Oh my
kidding. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get. Yeah, Saline, if you want to get next to that rock, I'll get behind you.
That's oh shit! I didn't move to the right spot. I'm so sorry, Brian.
All right, so
I think we're good.
the forces are obviously getting depleted at this point. You guys are wounded. Your troops are moving in, doing what they can as well, and we get ourselves back into combat. So based on the frac, I'm only going to put the closest fracases in because I don't think the other ones are going to be come into play. So I'm just going to put the 3 closest ones. All right, we are at the top of the battle. All right, so this first skeleton warrior, bow in hand, is going to take a shot at Tabard. That will be a fumble. Go ahead and roll a ranged fumble there, Tabard. right, this skeleton gets terrified of you somehow, and it has disadvantage on your next attack roll against the same target.
What do you mean, somehow?
He's a
You know,
scary
it's a
guy.
skeleton. Let's see. This one's going to move and also take a shot at the lieutenant. Lieutenant defense roll. Yeah, that's enough. That will evade. This one here will take a shot at Tavard. And obviously the fairy fire only lasts a minute. Is that right, Blixel?
Yeah, just a minute, so it's gone.
All right, so that one's gone, so feel free to drop concentration. All right, that easily misses. This one here is actually going to drop bow, march forward with sword in hand, and slash out at you, Blixel. That is going to hit for 5 points of slashing damage. All right, this one's turn. Gonna march on down, plowing into the middle of the field, just barely held together. He's gonna bring that club down once on the lieutenant and once on Tavard. Tavard, you
first?
evade. It's okay. You can roll yours now. Tavard evaded his attack. And you evade yours as well, Lieutenant. Okay, this
Nice.
one. Let's start with
Barely
Tavard.
holding.
Tavard macro, please.
East, please. Thank you.
Okay, Blixel's turn.
Okay, I'm going to start whittling away here. So Blixel will do a mocking blade attack on the one in front of him.
All right, and just based on how close you guys are at this point, I'm going to say if you have a passive perception, which most of you do, so not Blixel, but everybody else will be able to notice that Shalina is actually in the same northwestern skeleton that she was before. I'll go ahead and reveal her here momentarily. All right, Blixel, you're attacking the skeleton. That is going to miss.
Okay. Second attack.
Oh, that'll be a crit. All right, so maximum plus what you rolled. Your max is 10, so that would be 18 damage. And then an injury, but actually 18 is on the dot what you needed to drop this one, so he drops.
Okay. And he will move up and use his short sword to attack this one, big one.
Okay. That will miss.
All right, and that's the end of his turn.
Okay, Gordon, macro. Tavard.
All right, we'll see if this matters at all, but you know, I may as well use my last key, right?
Sure.
I will take that off of GM only for next time. But seeing that I'm hoping that these guys maybe have these guys in hand here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
As you step to there, you will provoke an opportunity attack.
I was waiting for that.
And you patient defense, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, you will evade that.
So that's 7. I'm going to 7 there. And I'm just going to 8 there. And it's going to be a double cheeseburger. That's what I'm eating right there.
All right.
Hey, if it can cause somebody else to have to move a little bit closer before they hit me, you know? So anyway, all right. Here goes my first of many crits.
23 will hit. Wounding the giant skeleton. 27 will hit. Also wounding it.
Nice.
All right, that'll end my turn.
All right, in response, the giant skeleton's going to attack you twice, Tavard.
I will give him a portent.
All right.
I guess on the
What-
second one.
All right. What is the portent?
It is 12, so he's going to roll a 22 based on his AC.
All right. So we will say both of those missed. Do you have a portent left at this point, Saline?
That is the last one.
Last one. All right. Let's see. Saline, macro, please.
Sorry.
All right, Chelina's not liking Tabard being so close to her wounded skeleton here. So Tabard, I'm going to need 3 defensive rolls as she rains down necrotic burst upon you. Okay, you will dodge the first one. You'll dodge the second one. The third one will hit you.
Unless
I still have that last inspiration.
last inspiration.
Would you like to
use it.
take the last inspiration?
I will
Alright.
use that last inspiration.
All right, please re-roll. All right, that will miss
Thanks,
you.
guys. I don't
Alright.
even know whose inspiration that was, but thanks.
That was Saline's. Do it a quick check. Does anybody else have inspiration on the table?
Yes, I do.
Well, Serena has inspiration, but Lieutenant Delvin does not, unfortunately.
What?
Yeah, unfortunately, can't let you Serena's inspiration. All right, okay, here comes the Hill Giant's turn. Let's see, what is he gonna do? Yeah, he's gonna try to come over here and protect the boss. So he's gonna come over this way, and he's gonna make 2 smash attacks against you, Tabard. You'll evade the first one and the second one.
See, this is what
Nice.
it's supposed to be like when you're the tank.
Saline.
Alright, I am checking my available spell slots. Let's see what we got left. I've got 2 second level. I think you have to do damage. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends. Yeah, there's one other thing I could do, but I think it has a lot of potential to go wrong, and I don't have inspiration, so if I do it and it goes wrong, then that's my
Maybe
entire
Serena
turn.
can give you hers.
Through the Shadow World portal.
I don't think... It sounds like Av's not going to let you do that, so instead, we're going to try to high roll some shatter damage here on all 3 of these guys without hitting my friends. It's going to be hard to aim the reticle, but
Do it on her.
yeah, she's in there.
All
Oops, that's
right,
me,
very
not my
brave.
token.
She
Yeah,
charges forward.
I charge forward.
Yeah,
So
so
I don't know where my reticle
never.
is. It didn't seem to go off. What is going on?
I just checked the sandbox. It didn't crash or anything, so everything should be working.
There we go. I got it. That's not on Tavard there. That's within 60 feet. Yep, for sure. So that's going to hit those 2 giants and Jelena inside.
Chelina succeeds. The other 2 fail, all suffering some damage.
And I have no bonus action if I cast a leveled spell, so I'm just going to chill right here.
All right, the lieutenant. Lieutenant Delvin.
That's you, Libby.
Sorry, I forgot my name again. Okay.
You say Delavin?
Yep, Delvin.
No, Devlin.
Is it Devlin?
What?
I made it up really quick. It is Devlin. Yeah, sorry.
Doesn't
He was
matter,
a really,
Lieutenant.
he was a very
Right.
important character with a long history, as you guys can tell. But yeah, I just slipped on his name.
I'm mousing over my damage and it's saying D6s. Is that? I thought Shatter was D8s.
Yeah, I thought it was too. I don't know why that would not be working properly, but if you want to re-roll 3d8s, I'll take what the new roll is.
Yeah, let's go for that.
All right, so 15 half to her would be 7, so 2 extra from her.
Yes.
It's gonna matter.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
5 extra to the Giants. All right, apply. Yeah, that's strange. Smart AoE usually works normally. I don't know why that one messed up. All right, and that's obviously to the giant in front of you. Yeah, that'll hit. That is going to bring the big giant down.
Okay, and I'm on the move. Heck yes.
Love it.
Now I'm stabbing at hers.
Okay, that one will hit as well. Nicking off a giant bone's foot. Unfortunately, that one's going to miss.
I say, I got your back, Tavern. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right,
There's so
Gordon.
many. Oh,
Get
God.
getting.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I see her. Need a wisdom saving throw from this. Yeah.
Go ahead and post what spell you're using. It will fail.
Is she not humanoid?
She is not humanoid.
She looks human. She's got a face like a human.
She does, but remember, you
Probably
guys killed
undead.
her. You killed her in the mansion, and she came back as an undead creature.
Well, that's the only thing I thought of that might help. All right, so then I'll take my concentration off.
It's a good try. I was thinking about doing it myself too, actually.
All right.
Back when I
Well,
had
she
spell
could've-
slots.
Yeah, she could have cast a spell too. I don't know. Maybe no. I don't know. It's D&D. You never know.
You never
You
know,
never know.
I'll
yes.
do what it was.
Could be magical armor. If you drop to 0 hit points, you know whatever. Well, shoot. Bonus action, Misty Step back where I was. I don't have Misty Step.
And you can't cast at the same time as a leveled spell.
Well, they pissed him off. Gordon pissed him off so much that now they're all going to target him instead of the low HP guys.
Yeah, so that's good. I have some hit points to contribute. I don't have a bonus action. Do I have a bonus action or something? No, I don't. I'm a cleric. We don't have any bonus actions. All right. Shit. End turn.
All right, guys, I know we're right at the end of our session time here. I'd like to try to wrap this up. Is everybody good if we go through another round?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. All right, this guy is going to have disadvantage on his shot, but he doesn't like Saline hiding down there behind that rock, so he's going to go and fire at her. Saline, advantage defense roll.
That is.
Oh,
the
you are
total-
totally... That is a triple crit. All right, so that's
Oh,
going to...
That's
Go ahead and click on your own token. That is still going to hit. All right, here
That's
it comes. Finally dealt damage to Saline. All right, 6 points of damage.
You don't get to do so often, so I'm glad.
I
you're-
know. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. All right, this one's turn.
Lean gets scratched.
Yeah. All right, it's going to come over this way and swing a sword at you there, Blixel. That will also hit. For 7 points of slashing. Okay, this one's turn. We'll come down here, fire an arrow at Blixel.
Oh, he can see me. Oh, never mind.
Fumble, ranged fumble. Go ahead and throw that, Blixel. Ooh, it's a bad one. Okay, loses footing, falls prone. All right.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that killed one of Libby's characters, I think, at some
I think
point.
you're right. Yeah, that was the other campaign. But all right, so I'll let you roll this. I'll take the inverse Blix. So just throw me a d20. All right, so that inverse is obviously a 10. So let's see, 10 plus their con mod. Yeah, so they're going to pass that check. So they don't take the damage. They're not knocked unconscious. Oh, so half damage. So roll me a d6. I'll apply the d6. So 1 point of damage.
I feel like that's bludgeoning damage, right? It would have to be.
Falling to the ground is technically not by rule, but I can see why you'd think that. All right, this one was dropped by Blixel. Blixel, 1d20, please. All right, that one's truly dead. Okay, this one was dropped by the Lieutenant. Lieutenant, 1d20. That one is also truly dead, and I don't remember where we left off. Let's just say Saline. Macro, please. All right, that one's probably effectively out of the battle. Okay, Blixel.
Okay. Blixel doesn't care. We still only have a few, like 2 more rounds, or 1 more round after this, right? So Blixel doesn't care about this guy behind him. He is going to just rush away.
All right, you will, of course, take that opportunity attack from the Skeleton Warrior. That is going to hit for 7 slashing.
Okay. And Blixel will run. That's a 5. Into here. And he's going to swing at the large skeleton, the one that she's inside.
Okay. $20 will hit.
All right, I'm going to make a defensive flourish.
Okay.
I'll use my last bardic. So total of 9 damage.
Now, when you do the defensive, does that apply to damage to them?
Yes, you get the damage, and then you also have the plus to your AC.
Got it. Okay, so it takes a total of 9, wounds it.
I'll swing again.
That will hit. Wounding it again.
And then he has a short sword, so he'll swing at it with that as his bonus action.
That will also hit. It literally had 1 HP left. All right, so that is going to drop it. All right, and it will come tumbling down, and she will fall as well. Blix will go ahead and throw me a d6. All right, she's going to suffer 2 points of damage from the fall and fall prone.
Any damage from the giant falling on top of her?
No, because it's bones. You know, it's not. She's in a
Did the bones
cavity.
pierce her heart at all, by any chance?
Unfortunately, not. No.
Let's go. Let's get her! But only, I guess, the giant skeleton next to me can hear me.
All right, and then I think we're on the Lieutenant for the macro. Okay, Tabard's turn.
All right. I am 10 feet from this guy, right?
You are.
All right, so I'll just go ahead and...
Did you know that she's prone on the ground?
I was going to say she's prone. Yeah, but I was going to go ahead and try to take the prone and the +2. You never know, right? You know, but at any rate, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to punch her 3 times.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just kind of I'm wondering if she is all... Well, I won't risk it. I'll just punch her 3 times. It's not worth it.
What are you thinking, Bill?
That will hit.
Well, I don't know if she has
Magic
resistance.
Sure.
Right? You know, yeah.
That punch will wound her. That will also hit. wounding her a second time. That one will also hit. Wounding her a third time. Those will all miss.
Right. My button got stuck.
Yeah, as it does.
All right, D20 Blixel.
Oh my
The
god.
Are you
giant
you
is still
freaking
alive.
Kidding me?
That's the third time.
Is there anything we can do to not have that happen?
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
don't have Blixel
no.
We're out of
roll.
inspirations.
All right, the giant stands back. That's why it didn't hurt her. It was still put together as it stands back up with her still inside the ribcage holding on. It is going to smash once at Blixel and once at Tavern. Defense roll from both of you. Blixel is struck for 20 points of bludgeoning damage. Harrod, you
All right,
managed
I'm
to
out.
evade. All right, Blixel drops to the ground. Blixel, macro, please. All right, with Blixel on the ground, Chelina is going to turn her evil efforts towards Tavern there, who for once is not patient defensing. So this is 3 straight up attacks against Tavern.
Yeah, but she's gonna fumble in this first one.
You
She
never
is.
know.
She's gonna fumble and fall.
She hits the
Okay, where's
first
she-
one.
Shit.
Attack spinner or
Let's see, hang
something.
on. Yeah, that will work. So you managed to put your shield just in
Nice.
the way there,
Oh my
Lieutenant. Blocking the first arcane burst. 2 more defensive rolls, Tavern. That one you will evade.
Come on.
That one you will
Oh my
evade.
God.
Yeah.
All right, this one is still up. He is going to swing twice at Tavern.
He hates you, Bill.
Yeah, don't blame him.
How can I get more reactions?
Get your turn back. That's the only way I'm for it. That one is going to hit as the skeleton smashes down. The second one will miss. So 10 points of bludgeoning damage to our dwarf. Saline.
All right, we're gonna bring down the sky here. Let's see. I have 1 second level slot left. So, oops, I just held the button down and now I have -8 slots left. So
Rough.
we are going to upcast magic missile. One of them is going at the giant that is holding her, and the other.
Well,
3?
question for you. Since all that commotion with him dropping her coming in and everything like that, am I still in that giant space or something?
You are, because it's huge, so you're allowed to be there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I know what you were thinking, and the skeleton's going to fall on you too, Tavern. But yeah, the magic missile strikes the skeleton. It will indeed fall. Throw me 2d6 Saline. The first one will be damage against Tavern. Second one, damage against her.
Yeah, but you got a cleric here. You're good.
I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't think about that.
No,
I didn't see that you
I
were in
wasn't
this
even
space.
thinking that, but that's quite okay.
You
I'll
did
take that. If she takes damage, I'll take damage. I'm okay with that.
Double max.
I'm not
Alright.
okay with that.
Both of you
but,
take
you know,
6.
and that's just
Untyped
non-bludgeoning,
damage, right. Yeah, unfortunately, falling damage is untyped damage.
Did you remember to get your 3 back from your turns?
It's not my turn yet. When on
Oh.
my turn, I get it. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. And then I will roll
How many extra missiles was
missile.
on her?
all the rest of them. So I casted second level, so that's 4 missiles total, so 3 on her.
3 on her. Okay.
So we will cast that to get the damage.
Okay, 6 additional points of damage.
I really hate that I can't reroll damage, but I don't have any inspirations left anyway, so yeah. No bonus actions. Go.
And
Okay,
just
Lieutenant.
wait. Sorry, did the thing that she's in fall again?
It did indeed. Yeah, it fell. She's down prone once again.
Prone.
She
Prone.
didn't take damage this time?
She did. She took 6.
Prone.
Oh. Okay, sorry, I missed that.
Get her.
You
Get
got
her.
this. You could kill her.
I believe.
This random NPC is the hero of the battle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it a
So it
free
goes.
action to? This is Serena's second in command for your information.
Okay.
This is it a free action to throw down my shield so that I
No,
can?
normally
Yeah.
not. But this guy is actually a hero in this battle, so I'm going to let you do it. I'm going to say he has the ability to throw shields off as an interactive object.
Hell yeah. Adam wants us to win. He's taking pity on us. We'll take it.
I mean, he just wants to be able to two-hand his sword. That's all.
I'm loving
Yep,
making this NPC really the hero. So let's go for it.
It's like Ben before him.
That will hit. 10 points of damage. A 13 is actually going to miss as it hits into this force barrier that surrounds her.
Serena channels her inspiration through
Unfortunately, I can't give you that
time
one.
and
Libby.
space.
Through time and space.
You'll crit the
22
next
will
one.
hit. 14 slashing. She is wounded.
That was 3 of them, right?
That was 3, yes.
Any action surge fighter class? I don't know.
Unfortunately not.
Oh well.
No.
He took the non-fighter fighter class.
This is
Sure.
the bodyguard fighter. It's all about protecting people.
Yeah, so speaking of, Tavern's still alive, right?
He is, yeah.
But of course
Think
I
so.
am.
Okay, cool. There's somebody to protect. Fun.
Yeah, I might
Okay,
need it too.
Gordon.
Who knows?
Okay, if I'm reading this right, I don't know, 1d6, but it's radiant, right? Do you think she's vulnerable maybe, right? 2d6 radiant. Do you think that'll kill her? No. Alright, I'm gonna do
It's a
this is
risk.
it's worth the risk. I'm gonna do it. Because I'm a cleric. I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to dive onto Vard's body. Because that's the end of my... I'm going to fall prone anyway. So this is the dramatic clerics running 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Use an action to do Word of Radiance.
Oh,
Hopefully...
I'm so sorry. I have to tell you this, though, Gordon. Entering
What?
an ally space when they're engaged counts as difficult terrain. So you would need 35 to get there.
You could heal one of them and they could stand up and finish her up
the
before
other,
she
the
gets
other
her
option
turn
is to
back.
pop the vitality, of course. But I thought maybe I'd get her with some radiant damage that might be vulnerable to.
If you heal me, I can probably stab her to death.
Yeah, that's for sure. Alright, then I'm gonna... Can I come back then?
Yes.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, there. I'm 30 feet from all my friends. So I'm just gonna pop vitality and then heal people and then you guys. Fine. You don't want me to do anything. If you want to kill her, fine, go ahead.
Brian, can you help me? I'm down 6 HP.
Yeah.
Inspiration for that.
Alright, Blixel. Here you go, bud. That's you.
I'm expecting Celine to, like, talk about her scratch for, like, the next 3 years.
Yeah,
Jeez,
that's
It's the
fair
worst
enough.
day of my life.
Every council session will start with, what did we learn, guys? All right, this guy is no longer under the effects of that negative disadvantage deal, and he's going to shoot another arrow at Saline.
Do it. I want it. My token's
She
not
wants
selected.
another tattoo.
That one will
I'm fine.
miss. All right,
And I'm also
this-
trying to distract all the other ones nearby me. I'm
this
making a lot of
one's
noise.
Turn is going to move up to here and is going to attack Blixel on the ground. Blixel, defensive roll at disadvantage, please. That is going to hit as he tries to knock Blixel out.
We do have another inspiration in there. I know we do.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Oh, that's right.
6 points of
He's
slashing.
fine. He's got 2.
This one
Ooh,
will
I saved
stand
his
up
ass.
from prone.
This guy's right next to me. He sees me. I'm making a commotion.
He is moving towards you and attacking.
Do it.
That will also miss. All right, Blixel, make sure you've applied that one level of weariness. You're currently prone. What would you like to do?
Blixel will stand up.
Okay.
Here's the question. I don't want to take an attack from this guy. Damn. Oh boy. She's pretty low, though.
What if he misses?
Yeah. What if he misses? Yeah, even if he does get me, Tavern's next. All right, so Blixel goes, I'm going to kill your boss, and moves one up.
All right, opportunity attack. Yes,
Nice.
you evade that one.
Get her.
And he goes, I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. Just go in your eyes.
Move north.
21 will hit.
Make sure you stab
Wounding
her.
her.
Oh. And I have advantage, right? So
You do, yes.
just in case.
Yep, for the elven accuracy, sure.
Yep, he'll do another one.
That will miss. Go ahead and roll your third 20. No. Oh, you gotta use 7.
9
Wait,
plus.
hang on. 16, that is going to hit.
Nice.
Very good.
Okay, the elven accuracy.
Hmm.
Wounds her again.
Jesus Christ.
I have my short sword. Bonus action. Yeah.
That will hit.
Nice.
Okay.
That is enough to kill her, Blixel.
Oh my God.
Through the
Remind
heart,
me, do you
dude.
have 2-weapon
Through the
fighting,
heart.
Blixel?
Through the heart.
Yes.
All right, you stab her with the short sword, which she technically drops at that point, so she's unconscious.
Yeah, and actually, I would like to try to do it through the heart if possible, just in case if she's Scion. Might as well.
I will say she's wounded. She's not
Undead,
dead
sorry.
yet. Even though you stabbed her, she's not actually quite dead. So she's down,
Okay.
making death saves.
Okay. And that's the end of my turn.
All right, this one's not going to matter. Someone's going to go ahead and remove that. Tabard.
Ah, shoot. I don't want to take a chance of her standing up again in a second.
Just kill her.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. Just kill her. Game's over.
To be honest, I thought you were down.
It's an auto crit. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't want to, she's a Scion. I don't want to steal somebody's kill,
Are you not?
I would not. I would
yeah.
not risk this.
I rolled a 1 3 times on these
I
deaths.
have
I'm coming back.
dagger. I don't think
so-
I can get to her. I can't
Don't
unless you move.
don't get greedy. We haven't seen her use any Scion powers. Just fucking kill her.
Well,
So
she came back from the dead before.
Yeah,
No, kill
and
her.
not only that, like chop her head off or do something
Yeah.
like.
No, kill her, dude. I don't care if
Oh.
she's a Scion.
Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna use my monk unarmed Scion killer right here.
All right, that will hit. That's a crit. 2 failed death saves. That will also hit, and that is enough to kill her. So as you smash into her body here, Tavern, you see her body stops moving entirely. You will notice all around the battlefield as these undead creatures unwind, collapsing, bones just smashing down, coming undone as this giant skeleton crashes down. You see ogre skeletons around the area crashing down, other skeletons falling apart, zombies just collapsing to the ground. And within mere moments, it is your force, what is left of it, the cavalry riding into the side, and suddenly you are the only ones on the battlefield.
Oh,
that
good
was
shit,
easy.
guys. God
Nice.
damn it.
No one's down. We're good.
Does anybody want to search her before we forget to do that before?
Cut her head off.
Yeah, Blixel will
Extra
take the
sure.
body.
You can certainly take the body, yes. I will say she is wearing robes at this point, and there's a really off smell to her, but you don't see that she has anything of value upon her. Alrighty, folks. So you guys have
Cut her head
survived.
off.
You have survived this battle. You have survived the war. So if we step back over to the war board for just a moment, you can think of the Undead Legion as essentially undone. So they would go away at that point. I'll go ahead and just remove that card for dramatic effect. And yeah, you guys have taken the field and you have won the day. All right, guys, so we will do a little bit of fast track next week as we pre-discuss. We're going to try to wrap the campaign up next week. So You guys will obviously be getting directed to try to head to the Eyeless One's tower. The Eyeless One, of course, being the master of Chelina, to try to end this necromantic threat once and for all. Any last words before we wrap up tonight's session?
I have
Good
a suggestion. Sorry, I
Sure.
have a suggestion. We can go long for the last day if you guys are willing to kind of put some extra time in. I'm willing to do that for the last session.
Me too, if
Yeah,
necessary.
whatever's good for the group and for Adam, of course.
My other thought is I could see if I could do another Sunday after the one that Jordan has to miss.
Let's see how we do next week. And I think so. I think I'm going to try to bring us to an end just to make sure it's nice and clean, and then that way we can all, go off from this campaign knowing that we've resolved it like satisfactory. But yeah, if for some reason it's going to need like an extra 30 minutes or an hour to resolve, then I'll ask at that point, see if everybody can. Otherwise, we'll do the best we can to try to fast track.
Fair.
All right. Well, great session, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun getting to see you guys do some of the war stuff. None of your units died. Lost some men on the field, but no full units. So that's always good. Yeah, we will pick up next week with hopefully an epic conclusion to our campaign. Have a great night, everybody.
Yep,
Good
good
job,
night,
guys.
guys. Sorry to
Night,
see you
y'all.
go, Libby.
Yeah. Well, she's not gone yet, so don't say goodbye
Yeah.
to her yet. She still has to earn her keep next week.
I think she did very well this week with a
Yeah.
almost nameless NPC.
The hero
Really
of the
made a
battle. All right. Have a great
See you
night, all.
guys.